2, series tied 1-1. Jack Michaels with the call up next. On 40 Oilers NHL playoff action on the Oilers Radio Network.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
We're set for Game 3 of this Western Conference semifinal. The series tied at a game apiece. The Oilers having lost Game 1 last Wednesday in Vancouver 5-4, and then beating the Canucks on Friday night by a count of 4-3. It was Evan Bouchard who got the game winner in overtime. Our Coventry Homes starting lineup for the Edmonton Oilers in Game 3. Once again, we'll have Stuart Skinner in the pipes, and he's 5-2 in this playoffs with an .888 save percentage. Defensively, Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard, and up front, the line that dominated Game 2 with Connor McDavid in the middle, Leon Draisaitl and Zach Hyman on the wings. McDavid and Draisaitl each with 4-point games to carry Edmonton to victory in Game 2. Your starting lineup brought to you by our friends at Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. Flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs by Coventry Homes. Now for the national anthem. Let's go midway up the first level with Robert Clark.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
Tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
There he shoots and scores! Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores!
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes!
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Live from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth location atop the 8th floor at Rogers Place, sold out as per usual. It's Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal, round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Edmonton and Vancouver locked up in a game apiece. I'm Jack Michaels along with Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown immediately behind us on the Oilers Radio Network. Vancouver will counter with Artur Shilovs in net. Up front, their third line starts the game with Elias Lindholm in the middle, flanked by Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland, Quinn Hughes, and Philip Roenick. And we're underway in Game 3 with the Canucks having sent the puck in deep off the opening faceoff, and a big hit on Ekholm early by Lindholm, and a chance for the Canucks down low, and then Ekholm got freight trained by Joshua hard to the net, and eventually covered by Stuart Skinner. So massive hits, first by Lindholm, then by Joshua on Matthias Ekholm, and Vancouver a thunderous start to Game 3. 19 seconds in, Skinner has to freeze it. Edmonton, Vancouver, we're just underway.
Well, Canucks have come out banging. Darnell Nurse was banging Elias Pettersson early. They had 3 big hits right out of the gate. Skinner fought off a tough chance around the net. And finished off with Evan Bouchard finishing off his man. Game on, and it all started because the Oilers' Matthias Ekholm thought there was going to be an icing call. Didn't hear that it wasn't. He got filled in touching the puck.
Now you're referring to Nurse hitting Pettersson in Game 2.
Yes.
Off the face-off. Controlled by Edmonton and cleared by Ekholm. The Oilers in the blue with orange numerals and white trim, operating left to right in the first period. Vancouver in the white, blue, and green. The Canucks have won a pair of games inside Rogers Place this year, despite being outshot by a combined 73-43, including 40-16 in Game 2 of the regular season. Canucks will chip it safely out off the draw, Pius Suter, and then rifled back in by Bouchard, who took a healthy whack at Brock Besser. That was not called. Our referees tonight, Chris Rooney and Graham Skilleter, and the linesman who just called icing against the Oilers are Scott Cherry and Ryan Gibbons. A face-off coming to the right side of Skinner. Now, Shelovs, the rookie for Vancouver, has tailed off. The record 3-2. The save percentage has now dipped under 900 to what his regular season save percentage in the NHL has been, and that's .899. But he was pretty good in Game 2. Stopped 27 of 31, beaten by an own goal. Ian Goal tipped it in. Off the draw, belted wide by Roenick off a feed from Quinn Hughes. A hard hit on Pettersson, leveled by Connor McDavid, who then just absolutely bulldozed Ilya Mikheyev. Keeping it alive, Linus Karlsson. A couple of lineup changes for Vancouver. Karlsson, a 2-time 20-goal scorer in the American Hockey League, who's played only 4 NHL regular season games, making his playoff debut, as is Neil Zomon, who's been an extra forward for the Canucks for the last 2 years. Roenick activates, right circle, deep, and shoots, and a save made by Skinner with the glove, and then Roenick's pass back to the point is off target. It's going to be a race for the puck. Shelovs will handle it against Warren Foegele, playing it up the left-hand side, and a quick shot taken by Evander Kane, who's with Foegele on a line centered by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. For Edmonton, the only change is Adam Henrique comes out of the lineup. He played 11 minutes the other night. Connor Brown back in. Shot by Nurse, and a save from distance by Shelovs. Rebound held in by Cody Ceci, and the Oilers back to work in the offensive zone. Vancouver under duress here. Tyler Myers unable to free himself up. Sam Lafferty took a big hit behind the net, and then Carson Soucy from Irma, Alberta, with a big hit following up. Both teams laying the lumber here early. Ceci emerges with the puck. Right circle shot, blocked in front. Taken, and eventually shot toward the net by McLeod. That's deflected high and up into the mesh behind Shelovs in net for Vancouver. We played 2:20 in this first period, and both teams seem intent on matching the other's physicality.
10 hits in the first 2 minutes and 20 seconds of this game.
He's Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels. Your 50-50 jackpot tonight benefiting the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. Food Banks Alberta already over $2 million and climbing. And the early bird prizes tonight are a signed McDavid and Draisaitl jersey and a Ford Mustang. Off the face-off, the Canucks with control of the puck. Ian Cole, who's had a rough series to this point, up the right-hand side. A veteran of more than 100 Stanley Cup playoff games, including 2 wins with Pittsburgh. He had the puck deflect off his stick by Evan Bouchard, who became the first Oiler defenseman since Lee Fogelin to score a playoff OT winner. Fogelin game 1 against LA in 85, and here's a dart down the middle that turns into an offside call as Desharnais was trying to hit Matthias Janmark, who did not like that offside call. We played 3 minutes of scoreless hockey. Edmonton, Vancouver, game 3 with this best-of-7 series tied at a game apiece. Game 4 will be Tuesday night, 7:40 puck drop right here at Rogers Place, and then Bob and I will hop on a plane and bring it game 5 for Vancouver on Thursday.
Right, Chris Knobloch wants to call it center ice. He thinks the linesman blew the call here.
They're still talking about it. Earlier tonight, Florida took command of its series with Boston, winning both games in TD Garden. Tonight by a count of 3-2, and the Panthers now 1 game away from returning to the Eastern Conference Final, where the Rangers saw Carolina stave off elimination with a goal late in yesterday's game, and the Hurricanes getting off the schneid and winning that game 4-3, but they still trail 3 games to 1. The Rangers can close it out tomorrow night at the world's most famous arena. JT Miller beaten off the face-off by Connor McDavid. Bouchard rolls it over to Matthias Ekholm in front of the Edmonton bench. He locates McDavid. A terrific game 2. He did not like his effort in game 1 and said it was all about work for him in game 2. And he provided more than enough of it with a goal and 3 assists, helping the Oilers even the series. Ekholm tries up the left-hand side, knocked down by Suter. Besser will give way to Miller. Now Besser winds it up and fires, and a save made by Skinner against the man who led Vancouver this year with 40 goals. Philip Roenick, right point, will swing it around the boards. Miller, who led the Canucks with 103 points, lets it go through to Hughes, but he's unable to maintain the zone. And here comes Leon Draisaitl, tripped up, and he's drawn the first power play of tonight's game. Ekholm down the middle, dishes one-timer to sprawling Shelovs, able to come up with it as the Oilers didn't get good wood on that bid. Draisaitl, a determined drive, and then Bouchard kind of flubbed a one-timer. Shelovs was able to stretch out and make the save, and now Besser goes to the box for tripping Draisaitl. And Edmonton's power play, 1 for 3 in game 2, and 46% of the playoffs thus far will look to score for an 8th consecutive game to start the postseason.
Draisaitl has a skate issue, Jack. He was cleaved on the way. Brad Harrison is looking at it on the bench. They've got it worked out. Oilers' power play has been pretty good in the playoffs so far.
That looked like a conversation resembling, don't bother. Draisaitl will figure it out. Face-off, he'll take it against Elias Lindholm. McDavid and Hyman stacked in the paint. Nugent Hopkins on the left half boards. Bouchard at the left point. Vancouver's penalty kill has been pretty good in the playoffs, but has been nicked in each of the first 2 games of this series by Edmonton. Off the face-off. Hyman controls back to Bouchard. He'll walk the line. Now Nugent Hopkins. McDavid lost the puck, poked away by Shelovs, and a length of the ice clear delivered by Teddy Bluger. Skinner out to handle a puck for Edmonton. He'll drop it off for Evan Bouchard. 4 minutes gone, first period. This is an Atco power player, trusted Alberta retailer. Here's Draisaitl, and he's just shoved to the ice. Good play by Tyler Myers, but the Canucks didn't take advantage. Draisaitl dropped to the ice again, and still the Canucks were unable to clear. Now Hyman hesitating, and from behind the net, he'll backhand it over to Draisaitl. Right half boards Draisaitl, taps it right back to McDavid. Waits, Draisaitl, deep in the circle now. Looking net front, in front, looking for Nugent Hopkins. That went awry, and this time Teddy Bluger makes sure of a clear down the right-hand side. Halfway through this power play, first unit will go nowhere. Bouchard back to collect. Remember, McDavid and Draisaitl combined for 55 minutes of ice time the other night. Here's Draisaitl walking in. Hard saucer back to McDavid. Top of the circles, back to Draisaitl, and he fell down. Somehow kept him alive with a brilliant backhand pass to Bouchard. And it's McDavid coming out of the corner. Now Draisaitl loads and fires and tipped away at the last moment by Zadorov, who's been a factor in this series. Bouchard took his eye off it at the point, and now Edmonton does want to change on the power play.
They got to look at that skate for Leon. I wonder whether or not that played a factor in his pivot off that shot.
He comes to the bench, and they're not looking at it. Nurse will fire it in. Second unit out. Corey Perry after it for the Oilers, playing his 204th Stanley Cup playoff game. Ekholm across to Darnell Nurse, and now it's Evander Kane, flicked it back to Nurse, left point. 10 seconds on the power play. Kane fires, redirected, Ekholm shoots and scores! 1-0 Edmonton. Power play goal from Matthias Ekholm, who has scored in all 3 games of this series. It's 1-0 Edmonton in Game 3.
Well, if you're the Canucks, you do a great job against the first unit, then off a broken play. A double redeflection goes right to an activating Matthias Ekholm. He is a yawning cage and slides it home.
Time 5:37. Second unit gets a power play goal. Ekholm from Kane. And the Oilers take a 1-0 lead. Matthias Ekholm with his 10th career goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He's now played 95 games in the postseason. Sent in deep by the Canucks off the draw. They've fallen behind. Oilers, of course, took a 2-0 lead in the opener, failed to hold it, meaning that the team who has scored first in each of the first 2 games of this series, Bob, has ended up losing the hockey game. Derek Ryan behind the net. Dishes off. And now freed up is Cody Ceci. They'll send it behind the net. Brown is on it for the Oilers. Turned it over. Besser to the clear to center ice. Nurse will get the second assist on the scoring play. Kane and Nurse with the helpers on Ekholm's goal, which gives him a 3-game goal-scoring streak, all in this series. Oilers in from the right-hand side. Corey Perry now 5-on-5. Gets a puck back from Dylan Holloway, and then rifle to pass out to Desharnais. His drive wide of Shelov's. Rebound. Lafferty comes over, lands a heavy hit, and frees it up for Nikita Zadorov, who leads all defensemen with 4 goals in the postseason. He had 6 during the regular season. Chips it ahead and shot in eventually by Lafferty. Desharnais forces it free, wheeled out by Ryan McLeod, and then played over to Carson Soucy by Tyler Myers. Stuart Skinner to handle the puck. Desharnais reverses to Brett Kulak. Nearly gave it away to Pettersson, but was able to slide it through successfully. Desharnais to Evander Kane. He'll chip and charge. Moving in on the forecheck is Warren Fogle. The puck pried loose. Tyler Myers angles it up to Pettersson. And now moving in is, again, Carlson. We don't know much about him. Linus Carlson, originally, of course, a draft pick of the San Jose Sharks. But he's come over and provided back-to-back 20-goal campaigns in Vancouver's farm system. Cross-ice delivered to Quinn Hughes, broken up by Kulak. And Fogle scrambles ahead. Hughes was able to duck his way out of danger and send it down the ice.
More aggressive forecheck tonight, Jack, from Vancouver, not sitting back as much as they did in Game 2.
Bouchard moves the puck ahead of Lindholm. Will get it back from Cody Ceci, who now changes and replaced by Ekholm. Connor McDavid dialing it up at center. Draisaitl set a pick for him and will get called for it. It's interference against Leon Draisaitl. Time 8:13. And similarly to Game 2, Vancouver's going to have an opportunity to level this game with a power play goal of its own. Edmonton did the same to Vancouver in Game 2. We'll find out whether the Oilers can preserve this 1-0 lead. When we come back, it'll be a Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Draisaitl in the box for interference. Edmonton leads 1-0 on a power play goal by Matthias Ekholm. And this is Game 3 of Round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
11:47 remaining first period. Back in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, Jack Michaels alongside Bob Stauffer. Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal between Edmonton and Vancouver. The Oilers lead Game 3 1-0 and now look to kill one off. They've done so 17 times and 18 tries during the postseason thus far. Off the draw, Quinn Hughes for Vancouver. A dart, and it's a dish for Besser. Back to Miller, a one-timer blasted into Skinner's pads. He makes the save. Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Ekholm and Desharnais, Derek Ryan and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Here's J.T. Miller. Swung it over to Besser. Top of the circles, Hughes. Left face-off dot, drifts down low. Back to Besser, high slot. Fires, scores. Game is tied. And Vancouver does do exactly what Edmonton did in Game 2, and that's answer a power play goal with one of its own. I believe Lindholm got a tip on that shot from Brock Besser.
Well, Derek Ryan had a chance right off the draw to get it out of the zone, and the Canucks beat him to the loose puck. And then a long range, might have been a double deflection. Pedersen was there at the side of the goal as well, but we're tied 1-1.
Elias Lindholm, who always seems to show up against the Edmonton Oilers. I talked about that with Reed Wilkins on our pre-game show. Well, that's his fourth of the postseason.
You know, they haven't been very happy with him in Vancouver. There was some belief he might get flipped to Boston. They made the right call keeping him. This guy's a player. He's always been a player against Edmonton. Purdy, you know what? One of those ones where... Oh, there we go.
Little pushing and shoving. Darnell Nurse engaged with Dakota Joshua. That'd be a heck of a matchup. Corey Perry getting in the mix with Carson Soucy a little bit.
Well, Joshua,
face-off coming back in the Vancouver zone. He has really discovered a home with the Canucks after being an extra guy in St. Louis.
He was in Chateau Bow with Rick Tocchet at the start of the season and played his way right out of it. See how the Oilers respond here, tied 1-1. So Draisaitl's drawn a call and then taken a penalty on a pick, and both have resulted in goals.
Off the face-off, Canucks control. Bouchard thought he might have been a high stick. Dakota Joshua up the right-hand side. Carter Garland back to Joshua, and he did not handle that return pass cleanly. Here's Carson Soucy up the gut, and an offside whistled against the Canucks. 10:55 to go in the first period of the game. Tied at 1, with each team having scored a power play goal. And again, I thought that might have been tipped. They announced in-house that Besser had scored it from Hughes and Miller, but I suspect it'll be Lindholm from Besser and Hughes. Lindholm was also the first guy at the handshake line. Nugent-Hopkins against Miller. Wins the face-off for Vancouver in the neutral zone. Roenick from Quinn Hughes, and Besser able to scoop it in. Stuart Skinner put it off the back of the net. Ceci handles that deflection and steered out by Evander Kane. Center ice Pius Suter sent it off an Oiler kneecap, and now Warren Fogle with a bid, but he's shrugged right off the puck by Ian Cole. Zadorov fires a pass that's on target for Pius Suter. He'll dump it in, and that's going to be covered by Stuart Skinner. 10:26 to go in this first period, and Nurse with a little extra business on Suter. Ends up dislodging the net from its moorings. Shots are 6 apiece. The goals are 1 apiece. both on the power play, coming 3 minutes apart. So a very similar start to Game 3 as what we observed Friday night in Vancouver in Game 2.
The only difference is Vancouver's been much more assertive on the forecheck, been far more physical. And the Oilers are struggling to win draws. Canucks have already won 80% of faceoffs in this game, Jack.
Off the face-off, Lafferty pulls the puck free. Holloway first on it for Edmonton. And he pokes it over to Brett Kulak. Whipped up the left-hand side, cut off by Roenick. Redirected dangerously in front, but wide of Stuart Skinner. And then held in by Bluger. He wound it around the boards. Holloway a collision with Philip Roenick. And he stayed strong on the puck and rather easily wedged it out for Corey Perry. A little too far, picked up by Quinn Hughes on 2 bounces. And the Norris finalist and presumed winner will send it ahead for Bluger. He'll shoot wide of Skinner. That's going to be taken by Kulak off the end boards. And Kulak has looked good in this series. Up the middle, getting a tip on it was Linus Karlsson. And he'll start up the right-hand side. Right-handed shot, Linus Karlsson. Center ice, Tyler Myers. Another right-handed shot for Vancouver, the hulking defenseman. Now in his 16th year. His pass mishandled by Soucy at the line. Myers got a tip on it. Will shoot it back in for Vancouver. Round the boards, Draisaitl. And then Ekholm swings it around for Evan Bouchard. Oilers emerge from their own end. McDavid a beautiful spin in the neutral zone. Bouchard directs a pass to Leon Draisaitl. Now Ekholm takes a shot. That's guided wide by Sheloffs, and burrowing in for the rebound is McDavid. Now Draisaitl comes over to help out, dislodges for McDavid, and now he's got the puck checked by Zadorov. Back to Draisaitl, getting worked over, hammered, and then played in the slot where it's going to be picked off by Joshua and eventually launched down the left-hand side. This might get across the goal line, but no, it dies right at the red. And as Bob would say, the out-turn draw was perfect that time for Vancouver. 8.5 to go in the first period. We're tied at 1. Outlet from Ekholm is tipped away from Janmark, but Connor Brown is on it for the Edmonton Oilers. Brown's dad coached Quinn Hughes in minor hockey for 3 years, and a shot by Nurse from the left half boards is gloved by Sheloffs. And with that, we'll take a break. 8 minutes, 18 seconds to play in the first period. The teams have traded power play goals, and Game 3 is tied at 1. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, live from sold-out Rogers Place in downtown Edmonton. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
We're back live at Rogers Place. Zach Cassian just on the Jumbotron. And, of course, Bobby played several years in Vancouver, but he's wearing the Oiler colors proudly tonight.
Yeah, well, he did his best work at Edmonton, no question about it, especially in the San Jose series, Jack. Game 2, 2 massive hits and a huge goal. Game 3, the only goal in a 1-0 Oilers victory in San Jose.
Off the draw, Oilers working around, unable to get a shot through, and the Canucks are able to bring it through center, and it's Connor Garland dumping it in deep. Darnell Nurse up the left-hand side. Evander Kane with a high floater. Big bounce at center ice. Nugent Hopkins to Warren Fogle. Cross ice, open man. Kane tried to center, and that was deflected away. Garland on the puck for Vancouver. Zadorov absorbs a check. Delivers to Cole. Ahead for Elias Pettersson. And he'll send it in deep. Elias Pettersson is in the game tonight. And Vancouver also has an Elias Pettersson out of the game tonight. He's a scratch. The defenseman. Vinny Desharnais up the left-hand side for McLeod. Corey Perry locates Dylan Holloway, and now McLeod, a burst of speed. Does not have a point in the postseason. And we'll put it in the corner for Holloway. This line has had some chances, but yet to convert. Vancouver hustles it through center. Linus Karlsson got as far as the Edmonton line, and then Desharnais played it to Kulak, and he'll dump it in. Quinn Hughes back to collect for Vancouver, puts the brakes on with 7 minutes to go in the first, and both teams make personnel adjustments. It's a drop-off for J.T. Miller. Puts the brakes on, swung it around. Besser let it go through. Myers put it down low for Miller. Centering pass wide open. Besser shoots and scores. 2-1 Vancouver. Besser point blank from inside the right faceoff dot. And Bobby's not going to miss many of those.
Well, he's a 40-goal scorer. And the Oilers got lost in a Vancouver ozone cycle. And wide open. And I mean wide open. And right now, that line's come out to play. The Canucks have come out to play. It started the first shift. And 5-on-5, Vancouver's been the better team. And they got the extra goal.
J.T. Miller with the feed to Brock Besser. Tyler Myers will collect the second assist. And, I mean, Besser point blank. Not much chance for Skinner. Again, you're talking about a guy, 40 goals. He had 29 as a rookie, but he hurt his back late in the rookie season. Here's Draisaitl, who might have played with that puck with a high stick, and there's the late call coming from Scott Cherry with 6:25 to go in the first. And, Bob, you and I felt that a combination of that back injury, and then I know he had an illness in his family, he seemed to, go off course for a couple of years. And he is now returned, and under Rick Tocchet, returned to the kind of presence he was in that rookie season for his first 65 games.
At the end of the day, the coach's job is to get the most out of the players. Rick's done that with a lot of players here. And that's why he's going to win Coach of the Year.
6:25 to go, first period. Oilers trail by a score of 2-1. Besser for Miller and Myers. At 13-18, that's the go-ahead goal. Vancouver off the draw, up the left-hand side, flipped in by Joshua. Reaching it first is Garland, trying to fight through a check from Ekholm. Worked around the boards for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He'll take his time and then fire a pass to Warren Fogle. Backs his way in and then is wallpapered. Can't do much with the puck. Garland took a big hit. Joshua came over with support and sends one tumbling back to the Edmonton blue line. Ekholm at center will backhand it in deep.
Canucks have done a great job, Jack. Oilers haven't been able to get in on the forecheck at all, and Vancouver's had a hard-pressed forecheck going. They've had a good start to this game. The Oilers need to match it.
Zadorov to Cole, and now Niels Oman making his Stanley Cup playoff debut. Will send it in deep. He was a healthy scratch for about half the games for Vancouver. Forces one free. Teddy Bluger's centering pass poked away by Matthias Janmark. He's checked by Bluger as he put it up the right-hand boards for Cody Ceci. With 5.5 to go, he finds an activating Darnell Nurse, who assisted on Edmonton's opening goal, and now Derek Ryan. Checked behind the Vancouver net, lost the puck, and it was cleared by Rodick. Nurse in front of his own bench will fire a pass to Connor Brown. Pestered on the right-hand side by Quinn Hughes. The puck knifed away by Derek Ryan. After it, Linus Karlsson did not get it out initially, and then Mikheyev will bring it up through center. Canucks attacking right to left. Mikheyev to Karlsson, a shot that just missed as he fought through a check to get it off. Karlsson back to work behind the Oiler net. Bumped off the puck, stays with it, flicked it back behind for Ekholm. He'll put it up the boards, and Draisaitl with a good play to knock it back inside the Vancouver line. Carson Soucy back to collect for the Canucks. 4.5 to play in the first period. Vancouver 2, Edmonton 1. This is Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal with the series tied at a game apiece. Ekholm up the left-hand side. Here's what it's meant to Edmonton historically. They win Game 3 with the series tied at 1. They have a record of 20-3. But if they trail a series 2-1, their series record is 5-9. So it's a massive swing game here. Draisaitl to Zach Hyman. In for the right-hand side, it's Draisaitl. To the net, tried to force it in front, and that was broken up and cleared by the Canucks. And Ilya Mikheyev. Vinny Desharnais racing back to pick it up for Edmonton.
Canucks have had some strong sticks going in this game.
Desharnais rifles one too far for Corey Perry, and that's an icing call with 3:40 to go in this first period. And the Canucks lead by a score of 2-1. Brock Boeser with a go-ahead goal after the teams had exchanged power play tallies early.
How many A-grade scoring opportunities 5-on-5 have the Oilers had, Jack? Not a lot. Canucks have done a real good job here. Now, it's not like Vancouver's had a lot, but the play's been in Edmonton's end a bit. Nothing close to what we saw in the third period as the Oilers were rallying down 3-2.
It's been tight for both teams in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Edmonton has played 4 straight one-goal games. Vancouver 6 in a row. Off the draw, it's Ryan McLeod. From out of his own end, Corey Perry trying to hit Dylan Holloway, who checks Hughes, but he was able to send one over to Ronick, and the Canucks will toss it in. Sam Lafferty getting it in deep. Desharnais will pick it up for the Edmonton Oilers, coming up ice left to right. Kulak gets around Teddy Bluger, hits the Vancouver line, poke checked away by Ian Cole. Onto the ice as Cody Ceci sends Perry in from the right-hand side. Cole back to get it for Vancouver. Strong on the puck behind his own net. A backhand flick up to Bluger, and then a saucer to the middle Omar. Bluger in over the line. He'll send it around the boards. Zadorov with support. Shoots, sharp angle, saves Skinner. Rebound tucked in front, picked off by McLeod. They'll fork it over to Evander Kane. 3-on-1. Kane, left circle, shoots off the post. That came off the inside of the post and ricocheted all the way in front of the Vancouver bench. Now McLeod through a slot and a quick shot taken and a save made by Shelovs. And Vancouver by an eyelash able to hold its 2-1 lead. A terrific chance for Evander Kane, and then Fogle with a burst of speed down the seam, and Shelovs able to make the save. Kane draws iron. Fogle unable to beat Shelovs. And we've got Vancouver 2, Edmonton 1 in Game 3. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Stanley Cup playoffs continues in just a moment from Rogers Place in downtown Edmonton. The Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
2 minutes, 33 seconds to play in the first period. Bob, it's been a while since the Oilers have had even a shot on goal.
Well, they did
2-1 our score. They did hit a post.
And then
Fogle, they took one away and then put one back on the clock.
They're good at that here.
Yeah. Here's Bouchard, a shot and a save made by goaltender Archer Shelovs. But prior to that, 8 minutes had elapsed before the Oilers had flurried anywhere near Shelovs, who
Canucks have had a great first period, John.
Bouchard fires a pass to Leon Draisaitl. Actually, you'd have to give the road team the edge in all three of the first periods we've seen in this series. Edmonton limited Vancouver to 5 shots in the first period of both games 1 and 2. Final 2 minutes here. First period as Bouchard sets the table. Canucks on the road won all 3 games in the Nashville series to close out the Predators in 6. Stumbling his way across the line is Foegele. Was able to chip it in deep. Elias Pettersson, a routine clear up to center. And now it's Pius Suter hustling over the line with Besser. Hits the trailer, Quinn Hughes. Snapshot wide, rebound Besser. Sharp angle, and he couldn't deliver the centering pass. Turned over. Suter, Besser, point blank scores. 3-1 Vancouver.
Warren Foegele can't make that play, and now the Oilers are in a world of hurt. Game 1 at home.
Now, if Besser's first shot counts as his goal, that would be 2 hat tricks against Edmonton this year. I believe it was tipped in by Lindholm.
The first one, but that's just an elite level finish.
And
Wrong guy to get the
2.
Wrong guy to get the puck there. Can't turn the puck over. Got to manage it better. And the Oilers with a blown assignment on the 2-1 goal and a giveaway in the 3-1 goal. And the Canucks have come to play. And it started in the first shift. They knocked the snot out of the Oilers on the first shift. We're running Edmonton hard.
Well, and Besser's been given 2 looks, point blank in each circle, each side. And Foegele with the giveaway to Suter, who went right back to Besser, who made no mistake at 18:34. So Besser with 2 goals 5 minutes apart has turned a 1-1 tie into a 3-1 game. And after scoring the first goal, Edmonton now finds itself down by 2 as the Canucks look to regain home ice advantage in this series. Face off. Lindholm and McDavid at center. Lindholm puts it on Roenick's stick up the right-hand side. They'll wave off icing.
There's been a lot of that where it's been waved off. And
Skinner up the left-hand side. McDavid rockets a pass too far for Hyman. That's going to be an icing call against Edmonton with 69 seconds to go in the period. And Vancouver leading Edmonton by a score of 3-1.
Well, Canucks have been good. And it's been beyond the 2-goal difference at even strength. They started it with a degree of physicality right from the opening shift, partially because there was a little bit of miscommunication between what Ekholm thought was going to be icing, that he got drilled twice. The Oilers were the meat on the sticks for the Canucks early. And Edmonton's going to have to recalibrate here and come back with something different in the second period.
Face off, digging in. JT Miller pulled it back. A shot by Hughes, and that handcuffed Skinner. He was able to make the save. Miller picks up the rebound out to Hughes. Left point. Takes a wrist shot, and that's gloved by Skinner.
Well, they keep
with 58 seconds to go.
They keep winning face-offs. That's another part of the story here, Jack, is the Oilers are getting cleaned up in the circle. Edmonton needs more from a lot more. They're going to need more than just McDavid and Draisaitl tonight.
Edmonton's been charged with 5 giveaways in this first period, Bob. Vancouver, none.
Yeah, this has been a clinic for the Canucks. They've been a great period.
3-1 our score. Shots are 11-8 in favor of the Canucks, and now a face-off to Skinner's right-hand side. Draw one cleanly by Derek Ryan. Vinny Desharnais up the left-hand side for Matthias Janmark. Takes a hit as he clears to Ryan. He'll get it in deep. Hughes scoots after it. Connor Brown tied him up. Centering pass wide open. Desharnais save. Rebound. Shelovs reached back and got it with his blocker as an absolute dog pile enveloped the Vancouver crease.
Right now, the Canucks are getting some breaks. A goal post for Evander Kane. That one should have been in the goal.
Shelov's got a piece of Desharnais' point-blank bid and then reached back with his blocker and fell on that puck.
Derek Ryan couldn't get the loose puck, and he got tied up.
Well, Shelov's grabbed the puck and Ryan's stick in the same motion. And that helped reel the puck into Shelov's chest.
Refs missed it. Should have been a holding the stick penalty on the goalie. It's a bang-bang play down low. Pretty obvious.
Face-off will be held to the left of Artur Shilovs.
And an obvious trip on Draisaitl to start the game. And then Leon, with Vancouver doing a lot of good things, Leon with a bit of a pick, and that kind of turned the momentum a bit in the hockey game here.
Derek Ryan on the face-off against Teddy Bluger. He wins the draw. Soucy lays it off the left-hand boards. Bouchard to knock it down. Ryan jerked his head back as though he thought he got a stick up in the chops. Kulak up the left-hand side. Quick touch on to Ryan's stick. Tried to force feed it in front. Bluger was able to backhand clear it in front of the Edmonton bench. Kulak over to Bouchard. He'll fire it left-hand side, skating into it. Holloway showed slapper, didn't take the shot, and now on his backhand with 7 seconds to go. Myers with a check on Derek Ryan down low. Bouchard tied up. Here's a chance at the horn, and that went off a goal post. What a chance at the horn. Coming out of the corner, it was Derek Ryan with a great look from the face-off dot, and he ripped it off the post. And the Oilers hit 2 pipes, and Shilovs with a sprawling save in a goal-mouth flurry. And Vancouver emerges from the first period fray with a hard-fought 3-1 lead.
Well, Edmonton's top players were outplayed by Vancouver's top players 5-on-5 in that period, and Artur Shilovs got some breaks. 2 posts, one off the Evander Kane shot, one off the Derek.
And that would have counted.
That would have counted. Also, an opportunity on a bang-bang play down low for Derek Ryan, where Shilovs was beat. So the Canucks came out with a physicality right from the opening shift. They've done some good things 5-on-5. The Oilers' top players, Jack, need to elevate. And Stuart Skinner, and 2 good goals from Besser, but Skinner's going to have to find a way to come up with some saves here, because he can't give up too many more. The Oilers are going to need to get going. There's going to be opportunities. Based on what we've seen, there's going to be opportunities around Shilovs. Oilers got to get going here.
Well, and again, I'm not sure we know exactly what kind of game Shilovs has. It's still a relatively small sample size. The last 2 regular seasons and this playoff round, I mean, he's sitting at a save percentage about 900.
He's been beaten 3 times in this game where the puck hasn't ended up in the net.
There you go.
They got to find a way, Jack, to get to 35, 40 shots by the end of the third period. They got to push it.
Because you think the numbers would suggest you might get 4 or 5 goals if you get to that shot total.
But again, the Canucks' top guys have come to play. They have, and it started with the opening shift. They were built physical. And
there's been some breakdowns. I mean, there was a breakdown in coverage on Vancouver's second goal. The third one is a dead giveaway.
Yep, no kid.
3-1 our score. Vancouver on top. Besser with at least a pair. We believe it's 2 to go along with an assist on Lindholm's tip-in that first period. Canucks by a deuce through 20 minutes. Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown to have their say when we come back to Rogers Place. This is Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal. Vancouver 3, Edmonton 1 with a series tied in a game apiece. The Oilers.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's Rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Darnell Nurse, and now it's Evander Kane, flicked it back to Nurse, left point. 10 seconds on the power play. Kane fires, redirected, Ekholm shoots and scores. 1-0 Edmonton. Power play goal for Matthias Ekholm.
Well, that was a good start for the Oilers. They got the first goal of the game into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in all games all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Alberta, next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winter zone. But Brock Besser with a first period natural hat trick for the Canucks, and they lead the Oilers 3-1 after 20 minutes. And Rob, right from the opening shift, and yes, the Oilers had some chances, sure, but Vancouver was the better team. I just thought all around.
I agree. The Vancouver Canucks get on the first period. Were physical. There's a wrestling match, I believe, between Darwin and McDavid on the side there. Lindholm hard after a couple of Oilers picking up. So Lindholm that ran over Matthias Ekholm.
And then Joshua 5 seconds later.
So it was the Canucks came to play. Again, the Vancouver Canucks are a good hockey club. A very good hockey club. They had a good first period. They responded after the Edmonton Oilers got the lead. The place was nuts in here. They get their power play, a nice shot by Besser. And then two big mistakes the Oilers made in that period. You can make big mistakes, and we talked about it a lot at the end of the year. You can get away against Anaheim or San Jose or Chicago, but when you play the best teams, if you make a big mistake, you will pay for it. On the second goal, Connor McDavid leaves his man and starts hunting a puck in the defensive zone. A great pass, I believe, was JT Miller. He passed it to Besser, who was Connor McDavid's man. Besser is the best goal scorer on the Vancouver Canucks by far. He had, 2 seconds, 3 seconds to pick his spot. He's going to score every time. And then at the very end of the period, Warren Foegele, a soft pass through his own zone. It gets picked off, and again, it finds the stick of Brock Besser, the best goal scorer. Now, I know that Jack thinks he only has 2. I thought the first goal went all the way in straight, so he might have a hat trick on the game, but the Oilers made 2 big mistakes against a good hockey club, and the Vancouver Canucks capitalized on both.
Well, and I just thought, you're right, big mistakes by the Oilers, but I thought Vancouver, and you mentioned what happened in the first 15 seconds, more of a physical mentality. Mm-hmm. They're forechecking quite well, and I thought they did a pretty good job denying the Oilers a clean entry as well through the neutral zone.
I think the Canucks weathered an Oilers storm. The first 5-6 minutes, this place was nuts, and the Oilers came out after the first shift. They got a couple good shifts in a row, created some offensive chances, weren't able to extend the lead, and then the Canucks started playing better. The power play was a huge goal for the Vancouver Canucks. Besser scores a goal. The Oilers, who were perfect in the first series, have now given up a couple goals in this series against, and all of a sudden the Vancouver Canucks felt a little more comfortable. The Canucks are playing with a great deal of desperation, and a wonderful example of it was with 30 seconds to go, the dog pile in front of the net. Sheloff gets beat. Again, we talk about big mistakes. The Oilers made a couple. There was a huge mistake where Desharnais walked in. He was by himself. He was in a better place than Brock Besser. He beats Sheloff, gets the puck to go behind him, and Derek Ryan, good, give him credit, drives the net. As he's about to shoot the puck, Sheloff grabs his stick. And that's an act of desperation. That's one you hope the ref doesn't see, but you have no choice. And then there were 9 players, or actually I guess with the goalie, 10 players piled on top of each other, and the referee's trying to find where the puck is. So the Canucks had desperation. What I do like about Chris Knoblauch, who's always seems to have a good pulse, or a good finger on the pulse of the game, and Bob really alluded to it a lot. The Oilers' best players weren't as good as the Canucks' best players in that period, which is very rare. Do we say Connor and Leon aren't better than the other team's best players? But in the last minute of the period, the Canucks iced it. The Oilers had a chance to put out their top line. They didn't. They kept Derek Ryan out there. They kept Holloway out there. They kept Perry out there. And that line created 2 grade A scoring chances. One where Sheloff held onto the stick, and then 2 right at the very end, Derek Ryan hits the post. So Chris Knoblauch realized we have other guys that need to step up. That line, the third line, I guess they would be, or a combination third, fourth line, had a really big shift there. And I give Chris Knoblauch credit for not just going to the norm. He went and saw, okay, this line's giving us more. Let's see if they can do something for us, and they almost rewarded it.
Yeah, well, that Ryan shot would have counted. There,
100%
there was for sure
it would.
A second left, maybe even a little more when it hit the post.
And Sheloff had no idea. There was Corey Perry was the human eclipse in front. Sheloff had no idea where that puck was, and Ryan just missed his spot by about 2 inches, hits the post, and goes out instead of going in.
Yeah, Evander Kane took a shot on a 2-on-1. That one went off the post. So, but again, the poster, just exciting shots that were going wide anyway. But the Oilers, keep shooting, and we've been saying this throughout the series. So Vancouver is also doing something to prevent, especially shots from dangerous areas. So credit to their defending, but you use the term there, Rob, an act of desperation by Sheloffs. And that's what the Canucks had more in that period. And to me, that defines a lot of their season and what, Tocchet was able to do to this team starting. And I mean, of course, the players got to go out and execute it, but starting last season, like they didn't play out the string after a coaching change. They were much better after he took over. Obviously, it was too much ground to take up. And then look how they played all year. And, okay, you can argue, well, the Sheloffs held the stick, should have been a penalty. Doesn't matter. Do it. Well, that's your last best hope in that situation. And that's, to me, the Canucks played with more desperation in that period.
I agree. I thought we saw in the third period of Game 2, the Oilers' desperation was they brought it up a couple notches and they pushed the pace and the Canucks couldn't handle it. Well, the Canucks come out and done the same thing they did in Game 1, and that just do whatever it takes. And that really they've taken on the personality of their coach. I played against Rick Tocchet for a number of years. He didn't take a shift off. And he did whatever it took. It would be a hit, it'd be a goal, it'd be a fight. That's the one thing he can relate to every player on his team because he's done it all. You want to talk to the fourth-line fighter, you want to talk to the guy that goes out and throws big hits, you want to talk to the guy that scores goals. That's what Rick Tocchet did. But, yes, that first period, the Canucks played a desperate, urgent playoff road period in that first period. And I think that the Oilers in this game, there's plenty of time left, but they've got to match that urgency. Yep. That was a playoff-type style of game that the Canucks played, and I don't know if the Edmonton Oilers – well, I do know. The Oilers weren't as good as they needed to be, and they have 40 minutes to right the ship. They do not want to go into Game 4 down a game. So this is a big final 40 minutes, and I agree with Bob. The Oilers are going to need a save or two from Stuart Skinner. And I know none of those goals were his fault. But
there's a reason they're called saves. That's what I always say.
But they're his problem. Yeah. So they're going to need a save. And when number 6 is on the ice for the Edmonton Oilers, notice him. Brock Besser can score with the best of them. He was lost a few times out on the ice there. The Oilers did not find him. You have to notice where he is at all times.
The Oilers Community Foundation online 50-50, the jackpot at $2.14 million. Early bird draw tonight for a McDavid and Draisaitl jersey and a Ford Mustang, so you might want to jump into that, helping the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation, Food Banks Alberta, and the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation. Besser with a hat trick already, 3-1 Vancouver after the first. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to avdiamond.ca today.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. When it comes to the wildfire situation, Melissa Story with Alberta Wildfire says crews continue to attack the blaze southwest of Fort McMurray with everything they can.
It saw significant growth yesterday, so the fire did over double in size overnight. We had night operations on it yesterday, which proved to be successful.
A wildfire near Grand Prairie also remains out of control at just under 1,400 hectares in size, which is around the size of Devon. When it comes to northeastern BC and the cause of the smoke that was blanketing Edmonton over the weekend, the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality Mayor Rob Fraser says the wildfire there is now measured at about 25 square kilometers and is now just 2 or 3 kilometers away from Fort Nelson, which has been mainly evacuated. And way over in Manitoba, crews are dealing with a threatening wildfire near Flin Flon that has forced 700 people in the community of Cranberry Portage to flee their homes. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority. It's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey. Ouch!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
And visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Okay, so the Canucks' first goal has been changed. It's now credited to Lindholm from Besser and Hughes. So Besser does not have a first period hat trick, but still pretty effective nonetheless. 2 goals and an assist. Canucks leading the Oilers 3-1 here at Rogers Place as we update the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The other game tonight, Bruins were up 2-0. Didn't matter. Panthers win it 3-2, out shooting Boston 41-18. So the Panthers lead that series 3-1. Baseball today, Blue Jays lost 5-1 to the Twins. NBA playoffs, Pacers over the Knicks 121-89. That series is 2-2. Nuggets win in Minnesota 115-107. That series is 2-2. All right, the Oilers got to get going here. Down 3-1 to the Canucks as they come out for the second period. This is Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com.
And click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian, Ultra, XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top-shelf finishes at no additional cost, because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Oilers will start their fourth line to begin this second period. Derek Ryan between Janmark and Connor Brown. Edmonton trailing 3-1. The Oilers' only loss in regulation over their last 17 games at home was to the Canucks back on April the 13th. That was the game that basically sealed the Pacific Division title in the regular season for Vancouver. We're underway. Second period, and Connor Brown sprinting down the right-hand side, played one in the middle. That was poked away on the back check, but now Brown tried to drag it out in front. CC fires, and that was blocked. And the puck trickles toward the blue line. Brown threw it toward the net, steered to the corner by Shelovs, and Vancouver has the rebound. Garland off to Philip Roenick. Lead pass right-hand side. Joshua hit hard by Darnell Nurse and eventually flattened puck to the middle. Quick shot rifled high and wide by Quinn Hughes, who did find the range 17 times in the regular season. He does not have a goal in the playoffs just yet. McDavid gives way to Nurse, and Edmonton starts up ice. Right to left in this second period, which has 1 minute elapsed. Ekholm, who has the only goal for the Oilers. They have indeed changed the Vancouver first goal to Elias Lindholm. We had it right from the get-go. Lindholm to tip on Besser, who scored the other two goals. Here's Hyman protecting on the backhand, deep in the right circle. Gives it up. Draisaitl out to Ekholm. Shot Bouchard and a save Shelovs as he was able to find it through a screen set by McDavid. And a face-off will be held in the Vancouver zone with 1:23 gone by in the second period. And Game 3 right now has Vancouver leading 3-1 and looking to regain home ice advantage in this series, which is tied at 1.
Yeah, the Oilers' passing game was a stray in the opening period, and it led directly to 2 goals for Vancouver. Brutal giveaway from Fogle, who is off the line to start the shift here. It's going to be Holloway out with Kane and Nugent-Hopkins.
Puck lifted down the middle, picked up by Ekholm and spilled back in by Kane. Ian Cole after it for Vancouver, winds it up the left-hand side. Mikheyev did not get it out of the zone. Here's Holloway cutting to his left, and he'll send it down low for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Curling back to the point, a shot, and that was sent just wide by Ekholm. Big wind-up. The Canucks don't get it out, though. Ian Cole put it back behind his own net, and Holloway will skate right around Pettersson, who knew where Holloway was going, and then gave a tough pass to Ian Cole, who did well just to free it up for a clear by Karlsson. Up the right-hand side, Mikheyev shot bobbled by Skinner. Big rebound, smacked out of midair by Ekholm. Picked up by Kane. Driving down the left-hand side. He was checked off the puck by Roenick. And then a juicy giveaway for Corey Perry. Didn't get it off. McLeod in front. Redirected. And Shelovs. Perry thinks it's in. The puck came very close to coming over the goal line on a redirect off a Canucks skate. And it's very tight here. Corey Perry thinks it's in the net. At live speed, Bob, I honestly couldn't tell.
I don't think so. Tom Chmielewski's Graham Skilleter. Graham Skilleter is going to go upstairs here.
Chris Rooney and Graham Skilleter will go upstairs to check the overhead look off Perry's stick, then another stick, and if they didn't call it a goal on the ice, I don't think you can call it after looking at that. Now, Philip Roenick's going to the box for a penalty. It should be noted here, Roenick will go to the box, so the Oilers, at the very least, will be on the power play. Perry did get his stick on it as Roenick tied him up. And that puck, boy, that is close.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any indisputable evidence that it's a goal.
And there has to be indisputable evidence to overturn the call. It is very tight. Shelovs speared at it twice and the second time he got it.
It's been 4 past this guy in 23 minutes that haven't ended up in the net.
Well, and again, he was way out of his net. McLeod put it on Perry's stick. It was actually poked by Hughes over the glove of Sheloff's initially, and then Bob and I believe he caught the fluttering puck before it clearly crossed the goal line. And I say clearly because, quite frankly, we don't get every angle.
Well, that one's interesting. That angle.
Yeah, the low angle, but again, I don't see indisputable evidence that it crosses the line, Bob.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's indisputable evidence. I'm not going to say it didn't cross the line, but I'm going to say there's not enough evidence there to overturn the call in my estimation. The Oilers will be on a power play as Roenick was called for a stick infraction against Corey Perry. And now here's the announcement from Graham Skilliter.
I got to look the time up. That's what they're discussing right now.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed. No goal. Vancouver 17 has a minor penalty for holding.
There's the holding.
Saved a goal.
On Corey Perry. Well, they saved a goal for now. Edmonton will go on the power play, and the Oilers have scored on their only prior opportunity. And in this series, it must be stated, they're 3 for 6 against Vancouver's penalty kill.
Got to win draws to start the power play. Canucks dominated the faceoff circle first period.
Draisaitl off the draw. Myers to Soucy, put it off the side of the net, and then turning and getting just enough to nudge it back to center was Lindholm. Oilers Atco Energy power play. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, and Bouchard. Here's McDavid, the puck carrier. Deep into the zone against Soucy. Tracked by Lindholm. Forced to give it up to the middle of the ice. That pinballed off a skate. And now shorthanded. Lindholm will be beaten to the puck by Bouchard. Vancouver, a quick change. Second period, it's a long change. McDavid enters the zone and feathers one to Bouchard. Now on to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Top of the left circle. McDavid on the goal line. Centering pass tipped. And Vancouver's got the puck. And the Canucks this time are going to break out. Here's a lead pass. Wrist shot off the rush by Oman. And a glove save made by Stuart Skinner. Pretty good look for Oman from the hash marks. And Skinner with one of his best stops of the night to keep the lead at 3-1.
Couple odd turnovers tonight from the guys in the Oilers' top line who were brilliant the other night. One thing about McDavid and Draisaitl, though, they can turn momentum literally in a single shift.
Well, give Vancouver credit. I mean, that McDavid pass was tipped.
Yep, they've had good sticks.
And good reads.
And the Oilers have not managed the puck well in this game. That's part of the reason why they've given up. They blew in a D-zone assignment off a cycle in their zone D on the 2-1 goal, and then Fogle with just an egregious giveaway. Puck ends up in the back of the net. You give Besser 2-point blank. Looks like that's a 40-goal score.
Off the draw, breaking free is Hyman. Reeling him in was Zadorov. Hyman kicks it back to Draisaitl, right circle offensive zone. Draisaitl will duck behind the Vancouver net. Feed McDavid. High slot Bouchard. McDavid left circle. Bouchard just inside the blue line. Over to Nugent-Hopkins. Dishing. Draisaitl one-timer score. And the Oilers have pulled within 3-2. Sheloff's got a piece, but not enough to deny Leon Draisaitl his 7th goal of the postseason.
Well, Hyman was the net front. Right now, Draisaitl saying, let's get some shots on this guy. That is the 6th puck that's been passed him, and he's only given up 2 goals.
Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins with the helpers. 5 of Draisaitl's 7 goals in this series have come on the power play. And you're right, Bob, that was not Draisaitl's usual perfection. I mean, that was a good shot, but one that ultimately you'd like your netminder to stop. Off the draw, Brock Besser, who has 2 goals and an assist tonight, gets it down low. Bouchard now ties Cale Makar for the most points by a defenseman in this playoffs. Lead pass up the left-hand side. Kulak to Matthias Janmark. Short side off the post again. That time it was Connor Brown on a short side pass. That went off the far post. What is that, 5 pipes for Edmonton? Shelovs is getting beaten repeatedly, but by the slimmest of margins, he's still up 3-2. JT Miller on to Mikheyev. Churning his legs behind the Edmonton net. He is belted by Kulak. Off the puck. Hard hit down low in the corner by Besser. He frees it up, and then when he tried to dish off, it was deflected away from Zadorov. Vogel will skate into the puck against Ian Cole. Right circle. Vogel shoots, and that ended up wide. Rebound. Hughes up the right-hand side and out. Darnell Nurse with the crowd most certainly back in this game. 5 minutes gone by, second period. Vancouver's lead has been trimmed to 3-2. Shot in by McLeod, but that was deflected out of play, and we'll do it again with a face-off coming out at neutral ice with 15:01 remaining in the second. And the Canucks clinging. And in this particular usage, that is apropos, clinging to a 3-2 lead.
5 pucks past Shelovs that have not ended up in the net. That is unreal. 3 goalposts, 3 or 4?
I think 4. So I think you're at 6. Myers dropped it off, up the left-hand side, out of the reach of Dakota Joshua. Lindholm back to Joshua, tries to burrow his way to the front of the net. Taken off the puck and cleared by Nugent-Hopkins. Turned over, and then the Canucks gave it away. Nugent-Hopkins working his way through the neutral zone. Lindholm, instead of shooting there, tried to be deferential, and he paid for it. Connor Garland will backhand it in deep for the Canucks. Skinner guides one over to Ceci. He was trapped against the corner boards. Lindholm in front, and a quick shot sent wide by Garland. Boy, he would like another look at that. Evander Kane up to Darnell Nurse, and he'll shoot it in. But Edmonton's puck management there, Bob, shaky. It's been poor. Hughes on the puck for Vancouver. Tries the right-hand side. Garland got turned around. Ekholm over to Bouchard. Right-hand side, Hyman heading for the net with a shot kicked out by Shelovs. McDavid tried to put it back in front. That went off the linesman. Connor Garland had his pocket picked and sent in deep by Bluegrue. Had a secondary layer of support there. Ekholm receives from Skinner up the left-hand side. Zach Hyman got away from Ian Cole, checked off the puck by Besser. McDavid threw it over to Bouchard. Right circle wrist shot, deflected up and out of play with 13:39 to go in the second period. Shelovs flailing around in the Vancouver net, but somehow his Canucks still lead the Edmonton Oilers in Game 3 of this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal, with the series tied at a game apiece, and the Canucks on top 3-2 as we approach the midway point of the second period. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit Rogers.com/5G. That's Rogers.com/5G.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
3-2 Vancouver. Both of Edmonton's goals have come on the power play. The Oilers are 2 for 2 tonight, 4 for 7 in the series. Matthias Ekholm, the first Oiler defenseman in nearly 40 years to score in 3 consecutive playoff games, going back to Paul Coffey in 1985. And Leon Draisaitl, power play goal here in the second after Vancouver had scored 3 unanswered. We're going to drop the puck again to the left of Artur Shilovs, who has been shaky to say the least. And yet his club leads 3-2.
He's been unbelievable lucky in this game, Jack. So many pucks have been passed him.
So here's McDavid winning the face-off cleanly back to Bouchard, slap shot, and the glove save. This one caught cleanly by Shilovs. Bob and I has detected that glove isn't always sure-handed, but that one he caught cleanly against a 90-mile-an-hour rocket from Bouchard.
He's got a chance to be a good goaltender. Seems to struggle when there's any kind of pressure in terms of tracking.
Or side to side.
Yeah, but it's not like Skinner's been lights out for Edmonton either in this series, Jack.
McDavid wins the face-off. Regains against Tyler Myers in the corner. JT Miller comes over to force it loose. And Carson Soucy on his backhand with a toss that'll chase Edmonton back. Ekholm gave it up and got it back from Leon Draisaitl. Now fires a pass over to Bouchard. Looked up ice. Oilers right to left. Hit the Vancouver line. It's Hyman double teamed on that side. Tracked by Miller and Myers. Ekholm over to Bouchard. Now Draisaitl coming out of the corner. Turned it over. Suter will put it up the wall for Carson Soucy. He paid for it, but Vancouver breaks out. I don't think Besser got a piece of that puck, and it's icing against the Canucks. Now the Oilers' top line at the end of their shift. And we'll see. I think, indeed, Nugent Hopkins and Kane going to come over. Nurse and Ceci, the D pair. Holloway has been elevated to this second line.
He's earned it, and Fogel's giveaway on the 3-1 goal has got him moved down the lineup. He needs to battle back. But Holloway's got to keep his feet moving, maybe generate a power play for Edmonton, and finish hits. Checks when he gets a chance.
Nugent Hopkins against JT Miller in the circle to the right of Shilovs. Approaching the midway point of Game 3. Vancouver 3, Edmonton 2. In the other Western Conference semifinal, Dallas leads Colorado 2-1. Nurse over to Ceci. Here's a shot taken by Holloway, sent wide. Rebound Nurse on net, and that's handled flawlessly by Shilovs. Another face-off coming to his right with 12:43 on the game clock. But clearly Edmonton is being conscious of having a shot mentality here against Shilovs and testing exactly what he has.
And why wouldn't they? They had so many pucks past him. Late first, early second here.
Well,
I think
they were up 4-1 the other night, Bob, and had a chance to get them out of the game, and then they went 23 minutes without a shot.
Going the exact opposite. Nugent Hopkins, 2 good face-off wins here.
Off the draw, it's Nurse off that face-off win. Now Holloway tracked into the corner, back to Nurse. Whistles a shot off the pads of Shilovs. Holloway right back on it. Nurse sends it over to Cody Ceci. His wrist shot deflected into the corner, caromed off the boards, and was hoisted out by Bluger. Neil Zoman overran the play. Nurse was able to settle himself and send it off the boards, and a rolling puck will be collected by Ian Cole.
Holloway's looking to seize the day right here, right now, Jack. He's really been moving his feet.
Cole off to Bluger. Evander Kane finished his check on Cole, and Oman got it in deep against Nurse. Vancouver will change. Skinner leaves for Ceci, and the crowd back in it. Nurse up the left-hand side. Fogel's stick was tied up, no icing. McLeod and Perry. Fogel, one-timer to save made. Shilovs, one of his best stops of the night. And no rebound. But that McLeod and Perry combo, again, Bob, starting to show signs that they're ready to get on the score sheet. Still 3-2 Vancouver. 11:47 to play, second period, Game 3.
Oh, it's been an excellent push here in the second period from Edmonton. They're out shooting Vancouver 7-2 here. Getting some looks.
Besser 2 goals and an assist in the first period after Ekholm had opened the scoring. Both Edmonton goals on the power play tonight.
At some point, you got to get something 5-on-5 as well. That's a given.
McLeod, Fogel, and Perry await the face-off to Shelov's right. Lindholm will take it for Vancouver and win it. Roenick lifts high in the air. That'll be scooped up by Joshua. Flicked over to Desharnais. Off balance look for Kulak. Icing will be waved off. Shelov's heard his defenseman say leave it. That was Quinn Hughes up the right-hand side. But Garland did not get it out. Now Corey Perry directly behind the Vancouver net. Peering inside. Emerges from the trapezoid out to the point. Ripped by Kulak and then pinballed out to the point. Held in by Desharnais. Down low for Perry. Fogle shrugs off a check. A second time. Gives it up. Not enough on the pass. And now you've got Garland streaking in against Kulak. Pulls up right circle. Looks for a teammate. Shot it right into the skates of Kulak, who was able to clear up the middle. Lindholm tosses back to Tyler Myers, and Vancouver will change. Edmonton peels off as well. Myers sees it sent skipping in deep by Elias Pettersson. Desharnais able to brush it past Pettersson. McDavid out to Leon Draisaitl at center ice. Knocked off his stick and then forced a non-give-and-go there. Draisaitl wanted to give it right back to McDavid. Desharnais to Kulak. Out to center and rifled back in by Myers. Canucks in on the forecheck. Waiting is Carlson. Draisaitl draped all over it. Pettersson backhands it out to the point. Shot, save Skinner. Rebound loose. Draisaitl comes up with it. Looked up ice for a moment and now takes it himself up the middle. Big hit on McDavid. Hyman there. Draisaitl for the tie. Off the goal post.
Unreal.
Another post hit by the Oilers. Draisaitl, Bouchard, fake the slapper. Went around his man, shoots, block shot, rebound, Bouchard. Tried to give it up. Tipped away from McDavid. Somehow the Canucks still lead 3-2. Besser will clear, golfing it behind Ekholm. And I don't know how Vancouver still has a one-goal lead, but they do. Ekholm to McDavid, and that play is whistled for an offside. 9:42 to go in the second period, and Shelov's gets another fortuitous bounce as Draisaitl had a beat and pumped it right off the pipe. 9:42 to play, second period. Game 3 of this Western Conference semi. Is it Vancouver destiny? The goal seems to have shrink wrap on it. The Oilers still within 3-2. A lot of hockey left. This is 4 Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
3-2 Vancouver over Edmonton. Game 3 of this Western Conference semifinal. And the Oilers' 8th game of the playoffs. Bob, this is the third one that I would place in the weird category.
Yep.
Off the draw. Nugent-Hopkins up the right-hand side. Connor Brown will send it in deep. Canucks first on the puck, Ian Cole. JT Miller got steamrolled by Matthias Janmark, who continues to pound on him in the corner. Nurse, meanwhile, to Cody Ceci. Put it behind the net. Big hit on Janmark by Miller. Highly competitive player. Janmark came flying back in, trying to get a piece of Miller. Nugent Hopkins tossed behind the net. Zadorov. A resettle skate away from Brown. Janmark continuing to pester. Zadorov trying to fend him off. Janmark won't go away and finally took the puck from him. Great work by Matthias Janmark. Now McLeod pins the puck along the half wall, carved out of there by Zadorov. Pius Suter, and finally it's cleared by Cole up to Brock Besser, who has 2 goals and an assist tonight. Here he'll dump it in. Skinner will give it up to Darnell Nurse. Wound around the boards. Fogle took the hit to make the play up to Ryan McLeod, right to left. 8.5 to go in the second period. Edmonton trailing 3-2. McLeod flutters one in front. Roenick put one right off an Oiler defenseman. It came right back in to Sheloffs, and he was able to cover. So Warren Fogle was the man that Roenick put the puck right off him. And now more engagement with Ryan McLeod hovering close by. Canucks trying to protect the front of their own net. Healthy dislike developing between these two clubs, no question. Vancouver, of course, swept the regular season series to win the Pacific Division title by 5 points over Edmonton, winning twice in this building along the way, despite being outshot in both games.
Yeah, it was substantial too, Jack. I mean,
in the first game, yeah.
73-43 in the 2 games here at Rogers Place. Edmonton outshot the Canucks.
40-16 in the first game, 33-27 in that mid-April game that cinched to the division for Vancouver.
Second of a back-to-back that night for the Oilers without McDavid in either of the 2 games.
Up the right-hand side, Lafferty got it in deep. Draisaitl able to cut one off. Bouchard up the middle, finds McDavid. Through the middle, Draisaitl in on net. Wrist shot, saved. Sheloffs. Best of the night.
Wow.
And he's able to sprawl out and control the rebound. Beautiful look by McDavid. And Draisaitl, a hard, low shot, tried to beat him on the blocker side. And Sheloffs able to make the save.
Well, he hit the post in the last one, and that time Sheloffs made a terrific stop. And how about the hand-eye from Draisaitl? Knocked the puck down because Hughes did get a piece on that headman from McDavid to Leon.
And that's where McDavid beat him on the breakaway in the third period to tie game 2. Draisaitl will take this face off to Sheloff's right-hand side. But I'll give Sheloff's credit. That was an excellent stop. And now Draisaitl's going to be chased out, replaced by McDavid. McDavid against Miller, who won the face-off for Vancouver. Directed behind the net, Suter against Hyman. High off the glass and off Bouchard and out of play for me and Cole. Face-off will be to the left of the Vancouver goal. 7:50 remaining in the second period. As Bob mentioned, a big shots on goal advantage here in the second period for the Oilers to the tune of 11-2. It was 15-2 in the third period on Friday night as the Oilers tied the game and then won it in OT. McDavid beaten off the draw by Miller this time. And then a high floater by Ian Cole, settled by Ekholm. Sends it hard up the board. Suter able to knock it down. Push it back into the Edmonton zone. After it is Besser. Ekholm lost his stick, but McDavid muscles out a clear for Leon Draisaitl, and now a whistle away from the play.
They're going to call Bouchard, or is it Ekholm? No one knows who the penalty's on here.
It's a broken stick on the ice.
It's got to be Ekholm for cross-checking, I guess. Well, this is a massive kill for the Oilers.
42 Edmonton, minor penalty, cross-checking.
So Ekholm will go into the box for the cross-check, and he broke his stick on Besser. And Vancouver, its second power play opportunity. The Canucks converted on their first when Lindholm tipped in a Besser shot. Only the second power play goal against for the Oilers in this playoffs. Brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Off the draw clear by Brett Kulak, who begins the PK with Desharnais, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Derek Ryan. Canucks left to right, 7 minutes to go in the period. Looking to regain a 2-goal lead. Hughes to the net. Wrist shot short side. Easy save Skinner. Rebound clear Desharnais. Shelov's ahead to Quinn Hughes. Vancouver power play during the regular season, 22%. Steal by Fogle at center. Crowds Hughes, forces him to give it up for Pettersson. Tried to get around McLeod, who bumped him. The puck rolled free. Fogle shorthanded. Smacked out of midair. Defending was Besser against McLeod. The Canucks are disorganized. And now it's Besser quarterbacking down the middle. He hits the Oiler blue line, feeds Lindholm. Elects to wind it around. Ceci will shield off his man. McLeod reverses, and then it's forced out by Fogle. Good work by the Oilers on this Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Quinn Hughes back to gather for Vancouver. 6:20 to go in the period, and 50 seconds left on the Canucks power play. Vancouver leads 3-2. Miller through the middle, swatted away from Lindholm. And now a smart play by Janmark to give it up. Knocked the stick out of the hands of Pettersson to Desharnais, and a clear back to center. Miller recovers the puck. Besser from the half wall shoots to the corner. Dakota Joshua on the puck, pulls it free for Garland. He'll slither his way down low. Feed Miller. Back to Garland. Had trouble controlling the puck coming out of the left corner. Fed across to Besser. Snapped to Zadorov. Missed Garland. Then Miller crowded in the corner. Gives way Joshua. Back to JT Miller. Joshua. Zadorov. Besser. Across. Miller. Besser, right circle. Snapped it in front. Didn't shoot. Was trying to hit a man back door. Garland, as the penalty comes to an end, picks it up for Vancouver, deep left circle. Tried to stuff it in front, deflected away, and the Oilers have killed it off. Ekholm out of the box, moves it up the left-hand side, and Connor Brown jams it down low. Big kill for the Oilers. Their deficit remains 3-2. In Game 3, Philip Roenick shoots it in. Now, of course, off the successful kill comes McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. And here's McDavid, jitterbugging his way in. One-timer Ekholm fought off by that glove hand of Shelov's. Not a clean save, but a rebound that is controlled by Roenick. And Ian Cole out to Teddy Bluger at center ice. The Latvian will backhand it in deep. Evan Bouchard, a reset for Edmonton with 4:40 to play in this second period. Up the right-hand side, big hit. Draisaitl was drilled as he entered the zone. Ian Cole got him. Tyler Myers up the right-hand side. Skinner paused, played it away from Mikheyev. McDavid in the middle of the ice moved it to Ekholm. He'll hit the line with Hyman. Get it back. Ekholm shot, tipped just wide by McDavid. Rebound to Vander Kane in front, and stolen away and cleared to Vancouver's Linus Karlsson. Backhanded in deep by Mikheyev. Darnell Nurse on the puck for Edmonton with the crowd urging the Oilers on. Vancouver 3, Edmonton 2 inside 4 minutes to play in the second period. And remember, both teams have won when trailing after 2 in this series. First game, the Oilers were up 4-2, lost 5-4 in regulation. Second game, Vancouver up 3-2 after 40. Oilers won 4-3 in OT. Here's Kane, Nugent-Hopkins over the line. Cody Ceci dropped it for Holloway, shot from distance, and that's handled by Shelov's, who makes his 19th save of the night. We'll come back and be back with our final 3.5 minutes of period 2, game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal between Edmonton and Vancouver. Canucks lead at 3-2. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
All games, all seasons.
You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
3-2 hockey game. Vancouver on top. All the damage by the Canucks inflicted in the first period. Besser 2 goals and an assist, taking his team to a 3-1 lead after 20. Leon Draisaitl's pulled Edmonton within 3-2. But a combination of good work and good luck has allowed Shelovs to maintain this 3-2 Canuck lead. Final 3 minutes now. Puck in the neutral zone, and we've got a cross-check coming.
If this is going to be the standard, you got to call it both ways here. This one's on Darnell Nurse.
Cross-checking against the Edmonton Oilers. And Vancouver earns its third power play of the night. Edmonton 2 for 2. Canucks are 1 for 2. And another opportunity for Vancouver to take, or regain, I should say, a 2-goal lead. I'm not sure I saw much there.
That is a horrendous call. Oh my, this is the playoffs. Like, come on, Chris Rooney. That is, unless it happened earlier before that sequence, that is a tough call. It can't have been what they just showed us. It had to have been before that.
Here's Lindholm. Off the draw, the puck worked free, and a clear by Matthias Ekholm. Another Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Ekholm and Desharnais, Derek Ryan and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for the Oilers. Hughes, Besser, Pedersen, Lindholm, and JT Miller for Vancouver. Hughes knocked off balance as he hit center ice. Besser tried to force it up the middle, broken up Desharnais' long stick and cleared with help from Derek Ryan back to center. Lindholm will wait for his team to get back on side. Hughes will quarterback it into the zone for JT Miller. Deep in the left circle, curls it back to Hughes. Across to Lindholm, one touch on to Elias Pettersson. Besser, hard around the boards to Miller. Bumper roll, Lindholm gets it back in the slot, turns, gives to Hughes. Back to Miller, left point, in front, Lindholm, jammed it home, 4-2 Vancouver. The Canucks able to put it back in the slot, and Lindholm has his second of the night. Power play goal for the Canucks, their second of the night. And it's 4-2 for the visitors with 2:25 to go in period 2. Well, you said it, Bob. Vancouver's top players have come to play, and Lindholm always seems to against the Oilers.
They have, and Leon's having... Leon 3-2 game. Draisaitl hits the post on a partial break, and then a great save. We're sitting here 4 goals on 15 shots for Vancouver. And the Oilers a 2-goal deficit again.
Yeah, backhander just outside of the right pad after a collision with Ekholm in front. Scored it free of Skinner. And Lindholm able to finish. First career 2-goal playoff game for Elias Lindholm. Oilers off the draw. Draisaitl cutting to his left and sending it in deep. Quinn Hughes will get the second assist on the scoring play. Canucks able to clear up the left-hand side. Kulak able to gather. Edmonton's top line out there. Kulak tried to hit Draisaitl, broken up and forced back in. by Carlson.
2 even-strength goals for Vancouver. The difference in this game. One's off a blown coverage.
Yeah, 2 aside on the power play, but Vancouver with a 2-0 edge at 5-on-5. This might be delay of game, an unforced error by Philip Rodik, who's had a tough series. Are they going to say clip the glass?
Got the glass.
It did? Okay,
Yep.
Scott Cherry, the Oilers sold it. And I guess I bought it. 1:29 to go in the second period.
Now they're having a discussion on it.
They emphatically signaled, and I didn't see it clip the glass from our view.
Neither did I, but they pointed right away that it clipped the glass. No penalty.
No penalty. There was a thought to be sure.
Well, Jack,
it's an automatic, of course.
It can't all be McDavid and Draisaitl 5v5. Somebody else has to break through and get one, especially since you're down by 2.
Even McDavid and Draisaitl are scoring on the power play.
Right. Got it.
I mean, they're not necessarily pumping you 5-on-5. They were good in game 2, 5-on-5, where the scoring chances were 18-1 when McDavid and Draisaitl were on the ice. Chipped up the left-hand side and out off the draw in the Vancouver zone. Rodik fed it ahead for Pius Suter. He made sure to get it in deep as he was finished by Nugent Hopkins. Nurse to CC. He'll bring it up ice with 70 seconds on the game clock. And Kane finished into the Oiler bench by Zadorov. The Canucks threw it around the boards.
Zadorov's going to get a roughing call.
Yeah. He finished too hard on Kane. And Zadorov would have been fine if he just backs off. But he kept forcing Kane to remain in the Edmonton bench. And Evander Kane has drawn a penalty here on Nikita Zadorov, who's really unhappy. Oilers 2 for 2 on the power play. Gifted one by Zadorov, who, not content with already having knocked Kane into the bench, just kept finishing him. Wouldn't let him out. And
penalties on the play. Vancouver 91, minor penalty roughing. Edmonton bench minor penalty roughing.
Oh, a bench minor. They got Zadorov. Someone must have popped Zadorov on the Oiler bench. Kane went in. Zadorov finished.
Fogle.
And then Fogle threw a right hand. Good catch by you, partner. Fogle threw a right hand and popped Zadorov. So there won't be a power play. It'll be 4-on-4. Now, we saw 2 goals, 1 for each team, 4-on-4 in game 2. So with 1:04 to go.
And Connor's having quite an extended conversation here with Chris Rooney.
McDavid and Draisaitl.
3 power plays for Vancouver, 2 for the Oilers. It's 9-6 in the series. And the Oilers have outshot the Canucks in the series.
Still waiting. Perry's going to serve it. It's a bench minor. It wasn't called on Fogle, even though Fogle was the one who popped him. So Perry serves it. Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, and Ekholm here. 4-on-4 with 1:04 remaining. Canucks counter with Miller and Lindholm, and Miller able to win the faceoff, but we're going to drop it again. And we've had a lot of false starts in the circle again tonight. 3 of the 4 games in this series, we've had a ton of resets in the faceoff circle. Miller and Draisaitl. This time, the puck fluttered free, and Lindholm will scoop it in from center ice as we go inside a minute to play here in the second period. The Oilers have outshot the Canucks 12-4 in this period, but they remain down 2. Here's Draisaitl. Man fell down. Coming right circle. Tried to hit a trailer, and it was broken up. Boy, he spun Hughes into the ground and couldn't take advantage. Bouchard will take a skate.
Thought he might shoot the puck there, Jack.
Well, and create an outnumbered man down low. Bouchard up the right-hand side with a half minute to go. Draisaitl from distance. Passes on the shot, gives it up for Nurse. Backing off, Bouchard to Nurse, cutting to his left. Nurse getting worked over on the half wall, taken by Bouchard. Threw it across. then fired back to Draisaitl by McDavid. He plows through Besser, heading for the net. Draisaitl center, one-timer to save. Gelov's rebound. Gelov's another save. And the Canucks come away with a puck. 3 seconds to go. Hughes will skate it out of danger. And this time, Vancouver will take a 4-2 lead into the third period. On Friday night, 3-2 was not enough. And the Oilers came back to win it in overtime, 4-3. They'll need to rally from a 2-goal deficit this time on home ice in Game 3 as the score 4-2 for Vancouver, and the Canucks able to get a goal back despite just having 4 shots on net in that second period.
You need a save at some point too, Jack. Come on. Like, you got to get a stop. And Shelov's, after getting some puck luck, by our count, at least 4 goalposts in this game.
He made some big saves down the stretch.
He did. He stopped Draisaitl off a partial breakaway. Edmonton were infinitely the better team in that period and not rewarded.
14-4 were the shots, but they have the goals, 1 for each side. And even the Draisaitl power play goal, normally Leon is close to perfect, and we say the goaltender has no chance. That shot actually could have been stopped. And yet Shelov's and the Canucks lead 4-2 after 2. Bob, moving forward, I mean, it's hard to quibble with what Edmonton did 5-on-5, but they're not scoring. They're doing everything but scoring. So how do you assess, do the Oilers change anything heading to the final 20 minutes, or do percentages kick in at some point?
Well, I think percentages do kick in, but everybody has to drive the net with the puck. And you know what? If there's some collateral damage, so be it. You're spending so much zone time in their end that you'd think you'd get some opportunities, and you think you might get some calls too. It's 3-2 power plays, back-to-back cross-checking calls. The next time a Vancouver Canuck player cross-checks an Edmonton Oiler, there damn well better be a penalty. The way this game is being officiated. If you're going to call it both ways. And again, the Canucks came out banging and they got away with it. And I think the officials, what happened here is they weren't ready for the degree of physicality either. Those were 2 charges in the first shift of the game. In the regular season, those get called all day.
See, I didn't think they were any different than the Nurse hit on Pettersson.
No, they weren't.
Yeah,
they weren't. But you don't
well,
see
you said charges. So.
But you don't see that in the first 30 seconds of hockey games often, one after another.
And Nurses weren't either. The Nurses kind of came about 5 minutes in and got Edmonton back into it.
If anything, Nurse was a little bit more egregious because of the intent. But they landed 2 big bombs on Ekholm, and the Oilers have been sort of taking punches ever since. Neither team right now looks like they can kill a penalty. Who do you have to have as your best penalty killer? Your goaltender. Stuart Skinner is 8 periods into this series. He is struggling. He is going to have to do, and you know what? Point blank look on the 2-1 goal.
Yeah, Besser had 2 gorgeous looks.
I know, and he's a goal scorer, but still, you got to come up with a save at least 60% of the time. They got some work to do. They're playing a good team. It's a 7-game series. We knew that. Let's see what sort of juice the Oilers bring in the third.
Vancouver 4, Edmonton 2. For the Canucks tonight, it's been Besser and Lindholm, each of whom have 2 goals. Besser has an assist as well. JT Miller with a couple of helpers. So, too, does Quinn Hughes have 2 assists. For the Oilers, it's been Draisaitl with a power play goal, Ekholm with a power play goal, and that's been it. No 5-on-5 goals for the Oilers in this hockey game. It's Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal, and the Canucks are 20 minutes away from stealing home ice advantage back. They've got a 4-2 lead in Edmonton with 20 minutes to play. Reed and Rob are next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
Alberta's best sprint car drivers battle it out against their Rocky Mountain rivals for the Can-Am Sprint Car Challenge. Catch all the dirt-slinging excitement May 25th at Rad Torque Raceway. Then get ready to color your world as the International Children's Festival of the Arts returns to St. Albert with countless awe-inspiring and mind-blowing experiences. May 30th through June 2nd. Details at childfest.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630chad.com. At The Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Over to Nugent Hopkins. Dishing. Tries out a one-timer score. And the Oilers have pulled within 3-2. Sheelov's got a piece, but not enough to deny Leon Draisaitl his 7th goal of the postseason.
All right, that's your highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winter zone. That got the Oilers to within 3-2. They outplayed Vancouver most of the period, but Lindholm gets a late power play goal. So Vancouver's still up 2 going to the third. It is 4-2 for the Canucks. Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins at the Intermission for End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. And Rob, the Oilers pressing, but a couple goalposts. Sheelov's a couple big saves, and Edmonton just cannot pull even.
No, they've had the opportunities, and yes, they were the better team in that period. They had some grade A quality chances on the sticks of their best players. Leon had a couple of wonderful looks. McDavid did. Bouchard had some shots. Sheelov has been very, very good in this game. And I know that people point out he got some posts to help him, but those were pucks, as you say, that are going wide. He was in the right area. Got the Perry one that almost went across the line. It was the right call because you didn't see where the puck went. That was a fantastic save by Sheelov because the puck was coming in and he had his glove ready for it to go into his glove. And the Canuck defenseman tipped it. So he had to readjust and then get back and get his glove on it a second time just before it crosses the blue or the goal line. So that was a nice save. The Oilers got to quit shooting themselves in the foot. 2 of the goals in this game were on big mistakes. They've taken 2 penalties. The Ekholm one, it was pretty easy for the ref to call. Ekholm's stick was broken in half. The Nurse one is one that fans won't like, but Nurse knows what he's doing. He's going down on the top of the pants of the Canuck player and just pushing him down. Now, you can't do that. Having said that, there was a lot of other things that could have been called. There was a hit by J.T. Miller on Matthias Janmark behind the net. The puck did not go anywhere near Janmark, and J.T. Miller ran him over right in front of the referee. To me, that has to be called. Because what you're doing is it's prison rules now. All right, okay, you're going to allow, because right after it, Janmark went after JT Miller with his stick over his head. Because you're like, if you're not calling it, I'll protect myself. So, and then the penalties, Zadorov's getting a penalty, and then off the bench, I couldn't see who it was. Both Jack and Bob said it was Fogle. Swung from the bench. You're about to go on a power play. So it's a game where the Oilers have been the better team in large chunks of it. They haven't got a save. They haven't got a kill. And they've taken some penalties that they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, that Zadorov play, that was a wild sequence. And I know I've already seen some social media stuff. Well, that's not a penalty. That's interference. I mean, if you on Zadorov, they were calling it roughing, but if you body check the guy to the ice and then lay on top of him, that's interference. So that basically, so he knocked, just because he's in the bench, he has to let him back into the play.
I don't even know if that's the interference. The fact that he ran him and Kane never had the puck. To me, that was the interference part. I've watched it a few times, and the puck is across the blue line when he hits him. Holding him in there, because the player can say, well, you know what, they're holding my arms. I can't get away. And there was some of that going on. To me, it's the hit when the player doesn't have the puck. That is, to me, what you got to get rid of in hockey. If you're not expecting to get it run because you don't have the puck, you shouldn't be allowed to get hit. So where you'll see frustration with fans, and you'll get frustration with players that are sitting at home watching, is when they allow the big, physical, nasty, could get injured type of play go uncalled, and then they'll call the Nurse penalty. Now, is that a penalty? Yes. But you've had guys headhunt. You've had guys with huge hits interfering. You're not calling those, and that's the one you decide to call. So that would be the frustrating part, watching this hockey game. To me, there's way worse things that have happened in this hockey game for them to call that one.
Yeah. But still, I even though they got outshot that period, I still think Vancouver is playing. They're playing very hard. I mean, they didn't. I'm sure Tocchet is saying, okay, we gave up too many. I mean, Draisaitl had 2 breakaways.
Yes.
He hit the post on one, and those were like soccer plays, like a through ball.
Yeah.
Where, and so he's probably saying, okay, guys, like if he's skating down the wing, somebody has to turn and go with him. But I still just think Vancouver, like I said, after the first period, very desperate. They're doing. Well, I know the shots in that period, but still there are plays where they haven't let McDavid get going.
Yep.
They're on McDavid down low.
They're not giving him a lot of speed, and that's one of the reasons you see Leon with a lot of speed, is they're very focused on Connor and not allowing him to pick up speed. So Leon is, and a couple great plays to him. The one thing that will affect the Vancouver Canucks as this third period comes on, and then going forward in this series, Carson Soucy left. Now, I don't know if he comes back in the game or not. He blocked a Evan Bouchard shot, and we've seen on the, I don't know, what is it, the odometer or the speed radar thing?
Right.
Yeah, Bouchard has a hard shot, and Soucy tried skating to the bench. He was on the bench for a while, and the next time I looked, he wasn't. If they lose Carson Soucy, he's a big part of this Vancouver Canuck defense. He's a huge man that gets in the way. He plays a lot against Connor and Leon. They're down to 5 defensemen, and that means an Ian Cole, who's your number 6 guy, has to play more. So we'll watch it coming into the third period if Soucy comes back. But that would be a huge loss to a Vancouver Canuck team that's trying to hold on to a 2-goal lead.
All right, so Lindholm and Besser, 2 each for the Oilers, both of Lindholm's on the power play. And for the Oilers, Ekholm and Draisaitl have power play goals. So that's how we've gotten to this point. Shots are now 23-15 for the Oilers, 4-2. The Canucks leading it here at the second intermission. Game 3 at Rogers Place. The series, of course, is 1-1. For Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ow!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. The death of a 65-year-old man in northeast Edmonton has been deemed suspicious by homicide detectives. An autopsy is scheduled for Wednesday after officers found a man dead inside a home near 135A Avenue and 68th Street around 7:30 last night. The officers had been called to the scene by a man and woman who reported the death and were then arrested as suspects in the case. Their identities are being withheld for now as the investigation continues. And west of Edmonton, Evansburg RCMP are thanking the public for a tip about suspicious vehicles that led to the arrest of 4 prolific offenders allegedly back at it again. The suspects were sitting in 2 pickup trucks along Highway 627 in Parkland County early Friday morning, with the trucks ramming one of the responding police vehicles as they fled the scene. With the help of Air One out of Edmonton, all 4 suspects were soon once again in handcuffs. It was confirmed that both trucks had recently been stolen from Vermilion. Police say the suspects had all been out on release orders for varying offenses, with one wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for parole violations. News on demand at 630ched.com.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Blue collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Think you can't go back to school because you have a family or a full-time job? Yes, you can. Northern Lakes College provides a supported distance learning environment, offering a guided learning setting that supports you to succeed and provides the flexibility to suit your lifestyle. Explore programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. The education you want, the flexibility you deserve. NorthernLakesCollege.ca.
At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
As now the puck brought on by Barkov into the slot, makes a move, shot, he scores! Barkov, what a move in on net, and he's able to give the Panthers their first lead of the game. 12:29 to go in the third. Barkov got through everyone. He beats Swayman, and the captain breaks the 2-2 tie. It's 3-2 Panthers here in the third.
What a power move through the middle of the ice by the captain.
Doug Plagans from the Panthers Radio Network with the call. Florida wins 3-2 in Boston. They go up 3-1 in the best of 7. The scoreboard is presented by Pizza 73, official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Baseball today, the Twins beat the Blue Jays 5-1. All right, the Oilers need a rally. They trail Vancouver 4-2 as they come out for the third period. Jack and Bob are coming up. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to abdiamond.ca today.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
4-on-4 hockey to start the third period, and also Calvin Pickard to start the third period for the Edmonton Oilers, making his first ever Stanley Cup playoff appearance, 12-7-1 in the regular season with a .909 save percentage. He was superb in a number 2 role behind Stuart Skinner, who leaves tonight's game with 11 saves on 15 shots. Edmonton has outshot Vancouver 23-15, yet trails this hockey game 4-2 as we begin the third period. Puck dropped, and they'll face off one by Draisaitl. Ekholm looking for McDavid. He's got him right side. Drop pass for Draisaitl, heading for the net. Quick shot and a save made by Sheloves. Rebound, Evan Bouchard. Left corner, McDavid. Beautiful cut around Hughes. In front, nudged wide. McDavid out to the point, and Bouchard took his eye off it. And he'll have to clamber back into his own zone with a half minute gone by in this third period. And the Oilers trying to do what they did on Friday, and that's rally when down after two. Bouchard sent it in. Back to collect. Carson Soucy, who did not play the final few minutes of the third period, or the second period, but he's back here for the third. Muscles his way in against Cody Ceci. Saw Tyler Myers get banged up and return for the Canucks in game two. Draisaitl with the puck having been dislodged. Perry and Zadorov out of the box. Cody Ceci rifles from distance. And again, that glove hand of Shelov's knocks it down rather than fields it cleanly. Nugent Hopkins squeezes it free along the wall for Perry and around the boards for Cody Ceci, with the teams now skating 5-on-5. Myers, Soucy, and Zadorov are all out there for Vancouver. So you got three defensemen on the ice for the Canucks. Pettersson defending Evander Kane. Top of the left circle, shoveled in front. And eventually reeled in by goaltender Shelovs. Perry, from beneath the goal line, tried to knife it back into the blue paint looking for a bank and didn't get it. As Shelovs knocked it down, hesitated for a moment, and then fell on it with 90 seconds having elapsed in this third period. And the Canucks protecting a 4-2 lead. What do you make of the goaltending change, Bob?
Maybe a bit of a reset here for Stuart Skinner, and maybe a push for the Oilers. Go in there, support Pickard, give Skinner 20 minutes. I'm sure he's going to be starting game 4.
McLeod digs in for the draw and wins it cleanly back to Brett Kulak. They'll send it over to Brown, and then Kulak whistles one into the waiting arms of Shelovs with 18:23 to play in the third. Remember last year in game 4 of the LA series, Skinner and the Oilers spotted the Kings a 3-0 lead. Jack Campbell came in, and Edmonton ended up prevailing 5-4 in overtime. Went right back to Skinner to start games 5 and 6, and he won both. And Edmonton closed out LA in 6 games. Just to echo kind of what Bob foresees in this series. Off this draw, a shot from distance by Kulak, whistled wide. Rebound chipped ahead of Desharnais and down the left-hand side. Kulak will catch up to it with Garland in hot pursuit. Up the right-hand side, Desharnais. Up the right-hand boards, and that's put in by Brown. Played back up the left-hand side for Hughes, and then mishandled by Joshua. Turnover in the Oilers zone. Desharnais to Kulak with his sellout crowd urging Edmonton on. Here's McLeod. In from the left-hand side, Holloway. Put it back behind the net. You've got Holloway, McLeod, and Brown on a line together. It's Holloway lunging for the puck, giving it up. Brown. He's stapled there by Sam Lafferty. Hughes comes over to defend alongside Roenick. The puck lodged along the kick plate, that yellow strip beneath the dasher boards. Played back behind and eventually taken out by Hughes. Up to Lindholm, and he'll shoot it in from center. Calvin Pickard to knock it down. What a story Pickard has been. North of age 30. Has had one of his best seasons as a pro. McDavid chipping and charging, and he's drawn an interference call against Zadorov.
You knew that was coming.
Zadorov clipped him, and Edmonton will get its third power play of the night. And Zadorov with Chris Rooney saying, I don't want to hear it. It's going to be a tripping call against McDavid. You could have called it for interference as he busted through Nikita Zadorov, who came down hard on McDavid. And a face-off coming to Shelov's right-hand side. This is where the Oilers have been deadly. Throughout the playoffs, they're 4 for 7 in this series. And if you include the LA series, they're 13 for 26. Even I can tell you that's 50%. Draisaitl wins the draw. Nugent Hopkins, top of the left circle. Waiting, delivering a pass to Bouchard. One-timer, Draisaitl save, made rebound. Another stop on Hyman. Dislodged. McDavid kept it alive. But when he did, Bouchard had slid to the high slot, and it went out the left point. So Bouchard carries it back in. Draisaitl double-teamed, and coming over to fire that puck down the ice is Ian Cole. Calvin Pickard off to Bouchard. 3 1/4 gone by in the final period. Minute 30 left on this Oiler power play. Zach Hyman to drop it off for McDavid. He got around Cole to the net. McDavid couldn't pull the trigger. Still loose. Gives it up. Bouchard. Back to McDavid left circle. To the net. Nugent-Hopkins deflected high in the air. Hyman can't knock it down. Canucks after the puck. Kept alive by Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins right circle. Bouchard will walk the line. Nugent-Hopkins right circle shoots and a save made. Shelovs, who's better on that blocker side. Bouchard to Draisaitl. Back to Bouchard. One-timer and a save made. Rebound! And almost kicked in by Hyman. I'm not sure that would have counted. And Shelovs has it anyway. With 4 minutes having elapsed in the third, 51 seconds remaining in the Atco power play, and no sign of a switch from Chris Knobloch. He'll keep the top unit out there. I don't think that one was not going to count.
No.
If Hyman kicked it, which he did.
Oilers have worked their way back up to 50% in the face-off circle in this game. That's important when you're on the power play. You got a minute left.
Draisaitl beaten off the draw by Lindholm. Sent behind the net. Canucks can't get it out. Second effort. Good work. As rolling over with support on Carson Soucy, who's kind of shaking that left hand. He didn't like that slash from Zach Hyman. Here's Bouchard down the middle of the ice. Cuts to his right. Has Draisaitl in the corner and gives it to him. Back to Bouchard, and he took his eye off it again. And that's going to cost the Oilers more time. McDavid actually wants a change here. Nope. He's going to dial it up. He'll stay on the ice. Hyman fell down, and the Canucks toss it down. And now the top unit will stay out there for the final 10 seconds of this man advantage. Full 2 minutes for Edmonton's top 5 on the power play. McDavid into the zone, swooping. Put the brakes on against Tyler Myers. Canucks back to full strength. Darnell Nurse shot. Blocked by Miller. Turns calmly and coolly finds Pius Suter, and he'll chip it softly behind the Oiler defense. That's what the Canucks did not do Friday, and Rick Tocchet criticized him for it. He felt they were panicky with the puck and would just kind of throw it away. That time Miller did not. Here's McLeod, a give and go with Evander Kane. Cross ice tipped through the slot. Corey Perry first on the puck, right corner. So the Oilers don't cash in on the power play. CC 5-on-5 has his shot blocked. Suter finds an open man, and it's cleared by Besser up the right-hand boards. 14 and a half left in regulation. Crowd in a frenzy. CC fires it in. That was elevated on top of the plexi. Cleared by Zadorov down the middle. And eventually it's Joshua on to Mikheyev. Sent in deep, Darnell Nurse taken against the boards. Reverses up to Evander Kane. He's on the puck, swatted away. McLeod back on it for Edmonton. And he'll shoot it off the linesman. And swept back in by the Canucks. Change for Vancouver. Pickard leaves it for Matthias Ekholm. Calvin Pickard having come on for Stuart Skinner to start the third. Ryan off the rush, and that time a clean glove save made by Shelovs with 13:52 to play. It's a game where Edmonton has more than doubled Vancouver's shot total. And since the first period, the Oilers have outshot the Canucks 24-4, including 10-0 in the first 6 minutes of this third period. And yet, it's the Canucks 4 and Edmonton 2. This is Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's Rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena
with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Face-off won by Miller against McDavid in the Vancouver zone. Edmonton's top line out, shoveled down the middle of the ice and out. Bouchard, Hyman over to Matthias Ekholm. This is the five-man unit that was so effective in hemming the Canucks in Game 2. Going to work here in Game 3, where the Oilers have outshot and in stretches outplayed the Canucks, but have been unable to break through. A couple of posts early, and the Canucks have found a way to hang on. This will be an icing call, a backhander down the right-hand side with 13:21 to play in regulation. This time, Chris Knobloch elects to put the second line out. Nugent Hopkins, Kane coming over the boards along with Dylan Holloway. 4-2 Vancouver. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you. Jackpot at $2.3 million in terms of that Oiler 50-50 jackpot, benefiting the Stollery Children's Hospital in Food Banks, Alberta. Face off to Shelov's right-hand side. Nugent Hopkins against Miller. Drafted in the same year. Nugent Hopkins went first. Miller went 15th. Angled off the left-hand side by Suter. That'll be another icing call against Vancouver. And this time, with the back-to-back icings, the Oilers are going to change lines again.
Got one team with a save percentage at .930, another team with a save percentage at .740.
McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman back on the ice here, Bob.
Going to the whip.
Ekholm and Bouchard, the five-man unit, returns for Edmonton for an O-zone draw. Miller against Draisaitl to Shelov's right. And another long pause before this puck is dropped. Miller digging in. And off the draw. Miller first on it. Forces it loose for Carson Soucy up the boards. Big swat and angled out. Backhanded behind Ekholm, and the Canucks will get a line change. 13 minutes to play. Vancouver 4, Edmonton 2. Canucks looking to regain home ice advantage in this series. Draisaitl had a poke checked off his stick as he entered the zone. Edmonton tags back up. A soft floater by Bouchard forces the Canucks back into their own zone, and in turn wedged out by Hughes. And now a hand pass will be whistled against Joshua as he tried to sneak one through to Connor Garland. 12:42 remaining in the third.
Well, it is a best of 7.
Well,
not a best of 3, but this is a critical Game 3, and Edmonton's chasing by 2, despite outshooting the Canucks 33-15.
Well, the Oilers, when they win Game 3 of a series that's tied at a game apiece, they've gone on to win 15 of 17.
Well, since coming into the NHL, the Oilers have won more playoff series than any other NHL team since the 79-80 season. And the last 3 years, the only team in the Western Conference to advance beyond the first round all 3 years.
Florida and Carolina, the others over in the East. Off the draw, Rodick will shoot it in for Vancouver. Joshua trying to get it in. Carved out of there by Garland toward the net. Joshua finishes his check, and Edmonton pinned in its own zone. Nugent Hopkins able to clear the puck. Garland will handle in his own end. Rodick to Hughes, and a soft toss back to center. Rifled back in by Ceci as Edmonton touches up onside. Shelovs leaves it for Hughes. 12:15 to go in the game. It's Joshua. Beautiful look, left-hand side for Teddy Bluger. He'll drop it behind the Edmonton net. The Canucks have not tested Calvin Pickard yet, 8 minutes into this third period. And again, they were outshot 15-2 in the third period on Friday night. That puck went off the camera at center ice, and that kills the play. And because the puck was released from inside the Edmonton blue line, the Canucks will get an offensive zone draw, leading 4-2 with 11:57 to go. Only Pavel Bure more points per game in the Stanley Cup playoffs in Vancouver's history than J.T. Miller. And Miller, 2 more assists tonight. Besser and Lindholm have scored twice. Hughes with a pair of helpers. Ekholm and Draisaitl with power play goals for Edmonton, who led 1-0, then trailed 3-1 after 1. Off the draw, shot, Joshua save, rebound. McCabe had a good look, but he curled it wide. Rebound brought up ice by Janmark. He'll dump and chase, and Shilovs will cover, and Janmark gave him a spray shower for good measure with 11:45 to play in the third. Ozone draw for Edmonton. Oilers will play host to the Canucks here on Tuesday night. Bob and I will have that one for you live on the Oilers Radio Network. That's a 7:40 puck drop. And then, do we have a game time yet for Thursday's Game 5 in Vancouver?
No.
So presumably that'll be, I'm thinking around an 8 Mountain start. If it's the only game on the docket and one of the Eastern Conference series get closed out, I could see that starting an hour early. Face-off right side of Shilovs. McDavid against Lindholm. Put the face-off up the left-hand side. Turned over. Draisaitl in front. And the Canucks, a panicky play that time. I mean, Zadorov, even after he fanned on it the first time, he had a chance to just settle himself, and he just drilled it down the ice for an icing call. And that's what Rick Tocchet does not want to see here in the final 11.5 minutes, especially from an experienced player like Zadorov.
Jack, I said after the first period when Edmonton was outshot 11-9, they needed to get to 35 shots on goal, and with the way Shilovs was playing, they get some puck bounces.
They're at 34.
And he's battled. He's had a lot of luck because they've had at least 4 posts in this game. But at the end of the day, their goalie has been better than Edmonton's goalie.
The save on Draisaitl in the second period, I think, started to settle him down. Off the face-off, Draisaitl won it. McDavid to Bouchard. His wrist shot disappears into traffic. Came back to him. Sets up Hyman for a backhander. And a save made by Shilovs. And he'll freeze it. We've had a ton of whistles here in the last couple of minutes. And 11:26 remain at Rogers Place in the third period. Vancouver has been outshot by a count of 12-1 in this third period. And yet, the Canucks still have a 2-goal lead. Mother's Day in Vancouver. The mothers in Vancouver a little happier than their Edmonton counterparts. And off the draw, the Canucks nearly put it into their own net. A backhander short side and a save made on Hyman by Shilovs. McDavid to Bouchard. Right point pounded, redirected. Right to Draisaitl. Couldn't get a shot away. Knocked the stick out of a Canucks hand and then backhanded down the ice by Pettersson. This will be another icing call against Vancouver. And what does Chris Knobloch elect to do here with 11:08 remaining? There have been so many whistles. He'll just keep the top line out there. And
well, McDavid and Draisaitl are both over 21 minutes, Jack. There's still 11 minutes left in this game.
Well, they're coming off a game where McDavid played 28 and Draisaitl played 27. Face-off, right side of Shilovs. Off the draw, won by Draisaitl. Here's Ekholm. Down low to Hyman, collided with a linesman. McDavid knocked off balance by Tyler Myers. Pulls the string left circle. Got around Bluger. A shot blocked by Myers. Rebound loose. Draisaitl came over. Edmonton all over Vancouver. This is looking like the third period on Friday night, but it was booted out by Myers, and here come the Canucks with some numbers. Soucy wanted a return pass from Carlson. It never materialized, and Draisaitl snapped it ahead. Now you've got McDavid. Roenick back. Change of pace. McDavid a backhander, and that was kicked aside by Shilovs. Here's Bouchard. Back to McDavid. Bouchard curling behind the net. Hyman and Draisaitl still on with 10:20 to go. Bouchard staying with it. Ekholm one-timer save. Shilovs rebound. Draisaitl on his backhand. He'll dish it out for Ekholm. Across to Bouchard. Winds. Side of the net. McDavid. Top line has been out for more than a minute and a half. Draisaitl had it redirected. Bouchard with the exhausted Canucks chasing to Ekholm. He bobbled it. And a lunging play made by Vancouver. Did get nudged over the line? It did. And battling through is Connor Garland through Janmark. Edmonton in the midst of a change. Garland and Janmark continue to ragdoll one another. Hyman to Connor Brown. In over the line, and that play looked offside and was whistled as such with 9:38 to go in a scrappy third period. And the Oilers, who outshot the Canucks 40-16 in Game 2 of the regular season, only to lose 4-3, find themselves with that identical number, 40-16, with 9:38 to play, and this time they're down 2. But much more at stake. It's not Game 2 anymore. It's Game 3 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it's Vancouver 4, Edmonton 2. This is Four Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
All games, all seasons.
You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
9:38 remaining, third period. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Vancouver holding on to a 4-2 lead. Archer Shelovs with 38 saves. Broken stick off the draw. Bluger had it snapped in half. The Canucks got it to center. That's all. They'll get new lumber. Nugent Hopkins over the line, and the puck came outside. And that's whistled down. 9:30 to go in the third. We've had a torrent of face-offs here in the third period that has seen the Oilers pile up 17 shots as compared to 1 for Vancouver. And yet the score has remained 4-2 in favor of the Canucks.
That doesn't include 4 goalposts, John.
Well, that was earlier in the game, yes. I'm just saying in the third period, shot disparity is even more pronounced. Here's Teddy Bluger off the draw, tried to center. That was out of the reach of a diving Carlson. He gets finished off by Nugent Hopkins, and now we'll have a hand pass whistled against Vancouver.
Face off outside.
Neil Zoman, threw it over, and that'll be whistled down immediately. Face off in the neutral zone with 9:16 to play in the third, and the Canucks looking to regain home ice advantage and take a 2-1 series lead in this best of 7. Edmonton beat Vancouver 4-3 in overtime on Friday night. Second overtime game between these two clubs in the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is only the third series. Joe Murphy won that other OT game. It was game 1 back in 92 of a series the Oilers eventually prevailed in 6. Murphy would later have a hat trick in game 4. Here comes Dylan Holloway. Fell down, floated one in front, out to Darnell Nurse. Back to Holloway. Sharp angle left corner, elects not to shoot. Now we got a penalty coming against the Canucks.
Wow.
And a puck sent wide, and that'll be picked up by Besser. And a cross-check coming against Vancouver at 11:15, and the Oilers will get a 4th power play here. Cross-checking levied against the veteran, Ian Cole, who's working in his 14th year for his 8th team.
That's just a box out. Sorry, that's all that is. But you knew after the suspect call against Nurse and Rick Dawkins levied at the Vancouver bench. But really, mean, Vancouver getting the second power play goal for them in the game, getting the 2-goal separation, changed and altered the course. So Oilers got to get one here.
Draisaitl won the face-off back to Bouchard. Edmonton does not have a 5-on-5 goal in this game. They're 2 for 3 on the power play. Nugent-Hopkins to Bouchard. Draisaitl to McDavid beneath the goal line. Hesitates, then wanders up top. Gives it up for Leon Draisaitl, right corner. Back to McDavid. Draisaitl, right circle. Waits, dishes, side of the net, Nugent-Hopkins. Draisaitl. McDavid beneath the goal line, wanders out front, shoots, and that went through Sheloffs, but he was able to cover, I believe. The whistle sounds with that puck near the far post. Another puck that got through Sheloffs, but did not settle in the back of the net. 8:12 to play in the third, and still a minute 27 on the Atco power play. McDavid squeezed it through Sheloffs, and he was able to slide over and keep that puck from going in at the far post.
It's the old saying, you got to be good to be lucky. He's been plenty good tonight because he's had some luck. He's up to 38 saves, 4 posts. 3 other pucks behind him in this game that haven't ended up in the net.
JT Miller and Leon Draisaitl on the face-off. Edmonton catches a break there with a bit of a delay here before the puck drop. Presumably this first unit going to go the entirety. Miller won the draw, hard rim and down the ice by Nikita Zadorov. And Miller, a highly competitive player.
58% in the face-off circle.
Bouchard back at his own end. And Draisaitl's usually automatic on ozone draws on the power play. McDavid shoots it in. Sheloffs will pump it up the left-hand side. Hyman settled it for Bouchard, whistled it across ice, and that was tipped out of play. And actually a decent break for Edmonton there. Oman flicked it into the Vancouver bench, but because the pass originated from the zone, if that goes off the boards in front of the Vancouver, Edmonton has to tag back up and they lose a ton of time. Instead, still a minute 2, and now the Oilers can kind of bait and switch, and Vancouver's going to take its time getting players on so that top unit can stay relatively fresh with 7:47 to go in the game. Draisaitl against Teddy Bluger. To Sheloff's left. Hyman in the paint, and he forced it back to the point where he thought McDavid was, but McDavid had kind of nudged its way into the high slot. Now he'll carry it back in. Nugent-Hopkins guides back to Bouchard. Edmonton looking for its third power play goal of the night. Nugent-Hopkins winds it around McDavid. Into the slot, Bouchard loads and fires, and that was a block shot. Rebound cleared and got through Bouchard. Not much on it for Myers. Canucks don't get a partial change. The Oilers get in over the line onside. Draisaitl with a half minute to go turns it over, and Vancouver a hard rim off the left-hand glass and down the ice. The Canucks will change. The Oilers will not. Bouchard with a top 5 still out there on the power play. Drops it off for McDavid with 7 minutes to play. He'll cut to his left. Give it up for Nugent-Hopkins. Bouchard, high slot. Draisaitl, right face-off dot. A shot blocked by Zadorov. Back to Bouchard. 5 seconds on the power play. Draisaitl calling for the puck. Down low, it's Nugent-Hopkins. Vancouver is back to full strength. Nugent-Hopkins shot. That dribbled wide. And the rebound taken by Oman. Trying to one-hand it out of the zone. He does so. And Vancouver up ice. Dakota Joshua with his team back to 5-on-5, taken down low. So 2 crucial third-period kills for Vancouver. Oilers have been 4 for 7 before this third period. Hughes put it behind the net, too far for Pedersen. Evander Kane on the puck, and now the Oilers' depth must rise to the fore. You've got Kane, you've got Fogle. You've got Corey Perry and Ryan McLeod, all double digits in goals. Can they come up with a timely strike right now? It's Perry to McLeod. In from the right-hand side. Kane inside. Just missed Corey Perry. McLeod belted on net by Ceci and stopped by Sheloffs. Rebound Hughes. Rifles it up to Pedersen and sent in deep. Calvin Pickard, who's only been tested by 3 Vancouver shots in this period. Derek Ryan got through Zadorov. Carries it in deep right corner. Ryan will put it behind the net. Angled off by Cole, but he didn't get it out. Kane, sharp angle, tried to center. That one off a skate. Kicked out to Ceci, down low. Zadorov cuts it off, up the middle. Garland on his backhand, and he'll pitchfork it through the neutral zone. Settled down by Brett Kulak. Holloway on the ice. Fogle carries it in for Derek Ryan. Holloway to the net. Ryan will give it to him. Holloway taken out against the boards. Four-player pile up in the corner. Miller to Besser, and it's swung back through center. Besser with 2 goals and an assist tonight. Kulak back in his own zone. Less than 5 minutes to go in the third period. Rifled on net by Ekholm. Now the top line is back out for Edmonton. McDavid bulls his way through a check. Sends it off the boards. Good read by Besser. He got there in time against Bouchard.
It's had a great game.
To flick it inside the Edmonton blue line. Ekholm and Bouchard fall back with 4.5 to go. Lead pass left wing, Hyman. Defended by Tyler Myers. Still 4-2, Vancouver. Besser, a steal in the slot. He'll carry it up to center and eventually reel in the puck. Softly to Bluger. He did not get it in deep, however. And the Oilers chop it back in. Zach Hyman under pressure from Soucy. Myers comes over. Did not get a clear. Soucy tried to backhand her, and that rattled around. Oman pumped it ahead for Besser. 2-on-1 for Vancouver. Besser, right circle, tried to center. Deflected Oman, and then Besser missed a tap-in for the hat trick. Bluger thought he was tripped, but I believe his own man got him. Bluger in the corner. At live speed, I thought it was his own man. And off that last time out, we'll have a face-off taking place, I believe, outside. 3:53 to go in the third period. Vancouver has been outshot handily. In fact, by a total of 17-3 in this period, 31-7 over the last 36 minutes. And yet, the Canucks lead remains 4-2. This is Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinal. We'll be back with a final 3 and change of regulation on the Oilers Radio Network.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And I'm Zach Hyman.
And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes
or having my goals disallowed,
we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You know, guys used to call me a plumber.
And now they call you an AC repairman.
Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Face off on the dot immediately outside the Edmonton blue line. Lindholm and Draisaitl. Off the draw, it's sent in by Tyler Myers. The Oilers and the Canucks meeting for the 7th time this season, and Edmonton has yet to beat Vancouver in regulation. Pickard to the bench. The Oilers get the extra attacker on. They trail 4-2 with 3.5 to go. Here's Draisaitl. Forced one toward the net. Batted out of midair by Soucy. Hard rim by Draisaitl. Out to Bouchard. Ekholm, high slot shot. And that's held, this time cleanly by Sheloffs with 3:23 to go. He's got 39 saves. And despite being outshot 41-18, Vancouver has found a way to forge a 4-2 lead and threatens to take a 2-1 lead in the series. Net is empty.
Well, now it comes down and the Canucks have dominated the faceoff. We're at 50-50 through 2 periods. It's now 58 to 42% for Vancouver. They've had a good third period in the circle.
Miller against Draisaitl. Miller won the face-off. A fierce battle for the draw. It comes out, but not out of the zone. Bouchard put it to the corner. Hacked free by Roenick. Nugent Hopkins did a good job sealing off his man, and now it's McDavid left corner. He'll locate Draisaitl. Back to the point for Bouchard. To the slot, Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl, right face-off circle. Gives it up. McDavid tried to bank it off the nameplate. It wasn't there. Besser shoots, and that was deflected by Bouchard, who was afraid that might find the empty net. And he has to drift back and pick it up with 2:50 to go in the hockey game. 4-2 Vancouver. Lead pass. Going for the steal. It wasn't there. Draisaitl to McDavid. High slot. Shot by Hyman. And that was deflected up and out of play with 2:39 to go in the third. And now the question is, Bob, when do you change if you're Chris Knobloch?
Not yet.
Okay. I mean, you probably got to get your top guys one more
It's unbelievable.
blow here.
27 minutes for Draisaitl, 26 for Draisaitl, 27 for McDavid. Janmark is going to replace.
Well, no.
Our timeout, Edmonton.
Yeah, it's a timeout. So the Oilers are going to take their timeout here with 2:39 to go in the third. And I don't mind this because, quite frankly, if you're able to bang one in, you got a healthy 2 minutes of regulation time to get the equalizer.
If Vancouver wins this game, the start, the power play goal when it was 3-2, and all the momentum was Edmonton's way, and then the 2 kills here in third.
The 2 kills in the third, you give Vancouver a lot of credit.
And Shelovs has outplayed Stuart Skinner in 2 of the 3 games so far.
And I thought the save on Draisaitl settled him down.
Frankly, you can make an argument he's outplayed him in all 3 games. I mean, the Oilers needed overtime.
Face-off coming to the right side of Shelovs.
It's been one of these seasons where Canucks have had the Oilers number, and the Edmonton's got to change that.
Well, at some point, you know, why I brought that up is at some point you got to give the Canucks credit.
Well, we're giving Canucks.
Right.
We do. They finished 5 points ahead of the Oilers in the season.
Because of a 4-0 head-to-head advantage.
And the sense of belief this team has.
Draisaitl wins the face-off back to Ekholm. He'll walk the line, guide it back to Nugent Hopkins. 6-on-5 Edmonton. McDavid and Hyman net front. The Canucks are able to work it up the right-hand side and out of the zone.
Don't have a shot.
Oilers will retreat. Here's Bouchard up the right-hand side for Draisaitl. He'll fling it behind the net. Myers takes a peek, goes up the middle. Canucks failed to get it out. They had a chance there. Myers booted it free, and now you've got McDavid on the puck for Edmonton. Circling, dishing, one-timer Bouchard, and that went wide. Rebound clattered off the boards. Brilliant keep by Ekholm. Myers came over, failed to get it out again. Miller will turn and fire toward the empty net and hit the goalpost.
Wow.
So now the Oilers catch a break.
He couldn't have done
with
that.
With a minute 50 to go.
If he tried that 50 times, he couldn't have done that and hit the post.
Here's Ekholm blasting it back in for Edmonton. Still no personnel changes. Myers jammed it up the wall. A chance for a clear. The Canucks shoot off the stick of Bouchard, denying the empty netter, and Edmonton will keep its top players out there with 90 seconds to go. Exhausting whatever's left in the tank. Here's Bouchard to McDavid. Hits the Vancouver line. Nugent Hopkins left corner back to Ekholm at the point. Minute 25 to go. 4-2 Canucks. Game 3. Here's Ekholm. Moving to Bouchard. Right point. Loading. Firing. Off the set. Score! Off the glove of Shelovs. And the Oilers have pulled within 4-3.
It's going to be Zach Hyman back behind the goal.
The shot was glove side, and when Shelovs didn't pull it in cleanly, and we've talked about that glove hand, Miller hits the post on the empty netter, and Hyman was able to bang it in. 4-3. We talked about that glove hand. Hyman, the league leader with 10 goals in the postseason. Now you've got McLeod. Now the Oilers are trying to buy some time here. to get their top players out. So McLeod with a deliberate face-off violation, and that will allow the Oilers requisite time to get their top players a quick breather.
What's going on here?
Well, they're just buying time. They pulled off Nurse and Cece. Skinner is going back in, and this will steal extra time. So Skinner returns. Pickard 3 of 3, and what that goaltending change does is buy the time, but they're not going to allow.
They're not going to allow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
No. No, they're not going to allow. They're going to allow Hyman to stay. He got the goal. Bouchard will get the assist.
No, now Hyman's got to go off too.
And they're changing everyone off. So 1:16 to go. And a face-off at center. 4-3. Off the draw, it's flicked into the zone. Myers will hammer it up the boards, and it was swatted back to center. Now Pickard watches as Skinner meets him at the bench. Skinner has come off. 1 minute to play. The Oilers in search of the equalizer. Trailing 4-3. They're trying to do to the Canucks what Vancouver did to Nashville. The late 2-goal rally. Up the left-hand side. Bouchard did not get it back in. And the Canucks force it to center. Bouchard whistles a pass. That eluded Zach Hyman. Soucy picks it up, plays it high off the glass. It went off Draisaitl, and the Canucks able to clear. And Edmonton's going to have to tag back up. Here's Ekholm to Draisaitl. Back into the zone. To the net. Backhander deflected. Miller after it. Canucks with a puck. Myers, right-hand side. He got it past Ekholm. Edmonton has to touch back. Here comes the finish. 15 seconds. Joshua muscles it back to the Oiler line. Edmonton tags back. Bouchard fires high. After it is Soucy. Hard rib off the glass. Draisaitl can't clear. He knocks it down. Draisaitl. Ekholm at the horn. Nugent Hopkins shoots wide. And the Canucks hang on to win it 4-3. Oh, and a big hit.
That's a suspension.
And a cross-check in the face by Soucy.
That is a suspension. That's just a cheap, greasy play by Carson Soucy. He should be suspended for that. He cross-checked him right in the face at the end of the game.
A little housekeeping. We told you we weren't sure how that puck made its way in. Right now, Bob, they're awarding that goal to Bouchard from, or actually,
it's Hyman's goal.
No, they're awarding it Bouchard from Ekholm and Draisaitl. I'm just telling you what the official NHL summary is right now.
The Oilers have got to ask for this to be looked at by Bouchard.
We'll get a replay here, but the bottom line is Vancouver hangs on 4-3. Draisaitl was able to knock it down, and Nugent Hopkins at the horn saw his shot blocked, and then McDavid stopped. Bouchard's shot would not have counted, and then a big hit by Draisaitl on McDavid, a cross-check.
21-3 were the final shots.
Did you see Zadorov cross-check McDavid right in the back?
Yeah, they got away. They got away with a ton of cheap stuff at the end of the game. So McDavid.
And Zadorov hit him.
So Soucy, the league's going to have to look.
Well, they were swinging sticks, both of them.
Yep.
And then Zadorov cross-checked McDavid into the waiting stick of Carson Soucy. The final shots, 45-18.
22-3 in the third period.
Well, and 36-7 over the final 40 minutes.
They stole this game. Arturs Shilovs. At the end of the game, Jack, there's an old saying, goaltending is 70% of hockey. Pat Burns used to say this, unless you don't have it. Well, guess what? They had it. And that's part of the reason why they won. The guy's been good. I mean, the high danger chances overall in this game were 17-9 for Edmonton, and they got outscored 4-3.
Well, with that in mind, Bob, do you change much?
Well, no.
Heading into Game 4. I'm not talking, I think we both agree Skinner will be a net. But do you change anything about the lineup at this stage, since to this point your secondary scoring has not shown up in this series?
Well, we got to see what's going on with Adam Henrique. That said, I don't know how much Connor Brown gave the Oilers in lieu of Adam Henrique tonight. You got the win with Adam Henrique in the lineup. Is he better with another couple days rest? He is a guy that, if it's a lower body issue for Adam Henrique, he's not exactly fleetest of foot. You need speed. That's the one thing about the way the Oilers have built this team. It's an over 30 team, a lot of veterans at it, and Ken Holland traded a first-round draft choice to get Henrique and Carrick in the deal, and right now they don't have either guy playing in the playoffs. And Jack, I go back to the first shift. The Vancouver Canucks came out, and they had the angry on, and Matthias Ekholm got belted back-to-back shifts, and the Canucks were able to gain some early momentum. Edmonton got a power play goal, second unit. It's the other thing. The first unit only went 1 for 4 in this game. And the Oilers did get a lucky break on the first goal. But
and the third goal, really. Now, part of that is, I think that is a weak glove hand. Sheloff's reaches out and kind of deflected it on his own.
Spent so much time in their zone, they deserved one as well. That's the other.
No, I agree. Yeah. I'm just saying it's not one that you normally think would go in.
Jack, if you had told me to start the series
45-18
and you lose on home ice, we get one more power play than them, I'm going to suggest 9 times out of 10 you win that game. So, now that said, it is a best of 7. It's not a best of 3. Right. It's not a best of 5.
And I'm going to go back to what you said, Bob, in terms of maybe something's at work here. Because you said basically the exact same thing after Game 2 of the regular season when you outshoot them 40-16. We've seen 3 games in this building where the Oilers outshoot the Canucks handily, and yet Vancouver somehow prevailed. Something's at work here. And, I got to tell you, I think for me, it starts 5-on-5 because Edmonton got 2 power play goals and a 6-on-5 goal tonight, and that was it.
100%. They're not creating anything 5-on-5. They're getting no support scoring. Now, I'm going to throw a real curveball at you, Jack.
Sure.
Okay?
In terms of a potential change or just...
Would you consider potentially... Leon looked pretty good to me tonight in terms of the skating.
Would you splitting them back up?
And potentially playing McLeod and Fogle with Draisaitl and playing Hyman and Nugent-Hopkins back with the only problem with doing that is, do you have enough speed at third-line center if you play Kane and Perry together? Do you put Holloway in between the two of those guys?
Well, I'm not sure you have enough speed, even if he's healthy, in Adam Henrique. Yeah. And do you risk putting him back in the lineup, compromised, and then having to play center as well?
Yeah, there's no way. He can't play center. He's not an option. So the option is Holloway.
Holloway is intriguing.
He is intriguing.
Because he played center. What would you say, Bob, down in the American Hockey League? What percentage of the time?
80%. But the final 3 or 4 games he played was on the wing. And where he's been successful in this series has been on the wing. And, Jack, it's a 3-2 game. And Leon that's the worst cross-checking call I've ever seen against Draisaitl or against Nurse. But you know what? The Canucks ended up getting, and there were some ticky-tack, frustrating calls both ways in this game. Both the Oilers' third and fourth power plays were on pretty iffy calls, I thought, against Vancouver. As an Oilers broadcaster, I will say we knew Mary Kay was going to be in the house. The makeup calls were coming. So, bottom line, Canucks find a way. They stole this game, 45-18. It's a steal job.
36-7 in the last 2 periods.
We're 3 games into the series, and Edmonton has yet to have the best goaltender in any of the 3 games so far. They need to have Stuart Skinner step up in Game 4 here.
Well, and the other thing is, Vancouver did a better job on Connor McDavid tonight. He was a force in Game 2. He was kept off the score sheet tonight. Bouchard credited with that last goal with 1:16 to go from Ekholm and Draisaitl. Draisaitl finishes his night with a goal and an assist, as does Matthias Ekholm. But Connor McDavid bageled for the first time in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. He and Draisaitl with matching 7-game point streaks coming in. Draisaitl extends his, McDavid does not, and the Oilers fall 4-3 at the horn. A good look for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who missed. McDavid was denied at the side of the net, and I don't think Bouchard's would have counted, even if it had gone in. Yeah, the clock was at zeros. Bouchard's last shot, which was a great save by Sheloff's, would not have counted. And then, of course, the rough stuff developed behind the net. So the end result is Vancouver has regained home ice advantage in this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal, and they do so by the score of 4-3 tonight Bouchard's goal, again, kind of disappeared into a mass of humanity, and it ends up getting behind Sheloff's to give the Oilers new life, but they were not able to come up with a victory.
Jack,
and the final ice time, can you give me the final ice time for McDavid and Draisaitl tonight? I'll tell you first, Stuart Skinner will be charged with the loss. He stopped 11 of 15. Calvin Pickard, 3 of 3 in relief. But the story is the rookie, 23-year-old Artur Shelovs, who, again, had just 9 regular season decisions. Coming into the Stanley Cup playoffs, he was the number 3 guy behind Thatcher Demko and Casey DeSmith. Well, both of those two players injured.
29-42 for McDavid, and Draisaitl finished the game at 29:04.
And those are both 29-minute performances in a regulation 60-minute game.
That's too much. There's no question that Chris is going to have to allocate some more minutes to some different players here.
And they're going to have to produce.
And you know what? Nugent Hopkins is going to have to make something happen if he stays with Fogle and Kane. It's the way we go.
Shelovs, 42 saves. Elias Lindholm and Brock Besser each scored twice. JT Miller and Quinn Hughes, 2 assists each. And the Vancouver Canucks steal Game 3 and take a 2-1 series lead in this best of 7. The final score, once again, Vancouver 4, Edmonton 3. Bob and I will have Game 4 for you on Tuesday night. That's a 7:40 puck drop right here at Rogers Place. And then the Oilers will head to Vancouver for Game 5. That's going to be Thursday night, and we'll keep you updated as that time situation becomes evident. For now, we'll step aside and await Game 4 with the Canucks having taken a 2-1 series lead by virtue of their 4-3 victory at Rogers Place tonight. For Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from downtown Edmonton. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
To Bouchard, right point, loading, firing, off the set, score! Off the glove of Shelovs, and the Oilers have pulled with it 4-3.
It's going to be Zach Hyman back behind the goal. I think Hyman ends up getting, right now in-house, it's announced as Bouchard's third from Ekholm and Draisaitl. Whatever the case, too little, too late. 1:16 left. The Oilers make it a 4-3 game. They get 22 shots on goal in third period. The Canucks had 3. The final shots were 45-18. At the end of the game, Irma Alberta's Carson Soucy and an exchange got a shot in on McDavid. McDavid gave him the stick back, and then Soucy cross-checked McDavid in the face as McDavid was being cross-checked from behind. Oh, this is going to be really interesting for the National Hockey League to see what happens here, because that's just the face of your league, the NHL. You know, you do something like that in the NBA against star players, and usually there's going to be hell to play. We'll see what the Department of Players Safety does on that one. Whatever, and some would say, hey, that's just fencing at the end of the game. That happens. It was cheap, dirty, and nasty at times. But at the end of the day, the Vancouver Canucks, they seem to have a way against the Edmonton Oilers. That's really all there is to say to it. We have played 3 games this season in Edmonton. The Vancouver Canucks, in those 3 hockey games, have now been outshot 118-58 in those 3 games. Is that right? No, 115-61. And they've got 3 wins. So, whatever the case, it's almost 2-1 over those 3 games. Vancouver leads this series. That is the highlight zone for Century Casino, all in, all games, all season. Century Casino's 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport at the Century Mile. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
You're tuned in to the Rogers postgame show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Able to cut one off. Bouchard up the middle, finds McDavid. Through the middle, Draisaitl in on net. Rich shot, saved. Sheeloff's best of the night. Wow. And he's able to sprawl out and control the rebound. Beautiful look by McDavid.
That's the save of the game, brought to you by Access Insurance. Alberta oil field and construction contractors can count on huge saves when they need it the most. Visit accessinsurancegroup.com. Let's bring a border inside the game analyst Rob Brown, Rogers postgame show, Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Rob, it's this simple. We're 3 games into this series. And Arturas Sheeloff, he's been the better goalie in the 3 games.
He has, in all 3 games. And it's funny. They both struggle in game 1.
Yes.
Both goaltenders struggled. And the one thing that we all talked about, well, we know how Skinner will rebound. We've seen him rebound all year. We don't know this Sheeloff's what he's capable of. And everyone thought that it was going to turn out well for the Oilers. Well, Sheeloff was excellent in game 2.
They needed to put him out in game 1. That's what needed to happen, and they didn't do it.
Well, no, and then tonight, what a performance that was. We talked on the pregame show what to expect from Sheeloff. I know that he played well in the Predators series in Nashville, but this is a different animal. You're playing against the best in the world, best power play in the world. This city is crazy for its team. It was going to be a hostile environment, and that was one of the best goaltending performances we've seen in this rink all year long. Now, he got some breaks. He got some bounces.
4 goalposts. The pucks were past him 4 other times besides the goalpost.
But his battle level
was off the charts.
It was. When the pucks were behind him, there was no quit. He's grabbing sticks. He's fighting for every inch of the net. If you're a fan of hockey, you're a fan of Sheeloff as a goaltender, what he's done in this series. Having said that, this was a game that the Edmonton Oilers were the better of the 2 teams. But we have seen with the Oilers that they can outplay teams, but they make big mistakes or don't get a save. And in the first period, or I guess it was the first period, Connor McDavid leaves his man Besser.
Yeah.
Goes to Besser, best goal scorer.
He needs to stop there, too.
But Connor then Fogle gives it away. It goes to Besser.
That was the killer in the game.
It was.
It was the killer.
Well, because it allowed the Canucks to get
2-goal separation.
Yes, and then all of a sudden it's a lot less pressure. So there's a lot of good things you can take out of this. But here's the biggest thing for if you're a Canuck fan or you're a Canuck player. When the game was on the line, they were able to kill 2 Oiler penalties. Yeah. And that was absolutely huge in this game. That will give them some confidence. Entertaining game. Before the game series started, I said the Oilers in 6.
So did I.
And
they're going to have to work to do it now.
They are, but I've stuck with it. The Canucks are good. They've got great will. They've taken on the personality of their coach.
Yep.
But this was a game that if they played it 10 times, the Oilers probably win it 7 times.
All right, so let's do a couple quick hitters here.
Yep.
Did Chris Knobloch overplay McDavid Draisaitl? 29 minutes.
Well, we'll see next game. Well, Bouchard had 31. Yeah. It's a 60-minute game. Bouchard was on the ice for more than half the hockey game. Leon and Connor are superhuman. So maybe they will be able to absorb that better. I mean, I'd be done for a month if I ever played 30 minutes in a hockey game. So it's based on score. I mean, the last 5 minutes of the game, would they play 4 minutes and 58 seconds of it? So we'll find out in game 4 how much it affected them.
Any need to review what happened at the end of the game?
100% they do. Okay. Now, I know I'd have to see it more. Now,
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yep.
McDavid went in there. Susie gave McDavid a shot. McDavid gave him the stick back, and then McDavid got cross-checked from behind.
By Zadorov, yep.
By Zadorov, and Susie cross-checked the world's best player right in the face.
Yeah, now, here's the thing is they're going to say is he wasn't going for the face.
Well, he got him in the...
No, I know, but he got cross-checked into his stick. Now, 100% it gets reviewed. I've only seen it the one time.
He'll get fined. He will not get suspended.
I wouldn't say that.
But in the NBA, you could bet your ass they would protect the best player. And that's the difference, is there is this egalitarian approach to hockey, which is, you watched it. You played with Murray Lemieux.
Yeah. The league is much better now than it was then at protecting players with suspensions and stuff. But
I know Soucy. Soucy did not mean to cross.
Oh, no, he didn't. But what I was shocked by, because when the cross-check came, all of a sudden there was a big kerfuffle. There's bodies everywhere. I was absolutely, utterly shocked that Connor McDavid was standing up. I was fearful that there was going to be a puddle of blood.
Yeah.
Now,
if there was, he'd definitely be suspended.
Oh, 100% he would be. Now, he still might be. The frustration. I mean, Connor was frustrated at the end. I'm shocked that they almost scored. Like, seriously, the Canucks had 3 chances to get that puck out. Give the Oilers credit.
They need it. It's this simple. Skinner needs some. Well, if he plays Shelov's even. Well, if he plays them even, it's 2-1 Edmonton in the series.
Well, again, last year's playoffs, Skinner was okay, but not good enough. And his save percentage was below 900.
Well, it's well below 900 after today.
And again, that's the problem. Now, I don't blame him for any goals, but we saw a goaltender in the opposite end tonight.
Pull puck, settle in net.
Yes, and that's what the Oilers aren't getting right now.
Rob, great stuff. Talk Tuesday.
Sounds good, Bob.
Smart Play of the Night is brought to you by Cutelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. We will give it tonight to Matthias Ekholm, who overcame getting belted a couple times. He's going to end up getting a couple points. Unfortunately for Edmonton, they lose. The final score 4-3, despite outshooting the Vancouver Canucks 36-7 in the final 2 periods. This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
Blue-collar work deserves big-dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Out-of-town scoreboard pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Disputed game-winning goal for Sam Bennett for the Florida Panthers. They beat Boston. They win 3-2. Of course, Brad Marchand knocked out of the series, and it's 3-1 for Florida up in their series against Boston. Panthers are a good team. There's no question about it. So are the Rangers. They're up 3-1 over Carolina. Chance to close out at home tomorrow at MSG. Dallas up 2-1. 2 awesome teams in the Central going at it. And Dallas leads that series 2-1 over Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and the Colorado Avalanche. Here at Rogers Place, the Oilers outshoot Vancouver 36-7 in the final 2 periods. Lose 4-3. This is the Rogers postgame show. Oilers Radio Network.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
Molson Company stars, whether it's Canadian Ultra Export or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Third star tonight, Leon Draisaitl. He had a goal and an assist, 2 points. Arthur Seeloff, they gave him the second star. He should have been first star. He made 42 saves. Brock Besser, 2 goals and an assist. Vancouver Canucks win 4-3. They take a 2-1 series lead in a nasty hockey game at the end. 45-18 the shots for Edmonton, but they lose 4-3. Rogers post-game show is heard following each of our Oilers broadcasts. Game 4 of the series, 7:30 Tuesday night. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels, along with Cam Moon, Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brennan Escott, studio producers, Kellen Kennedy at the helm tonight, and Angie Clell, ace engineer, Troy Bowler, Bob Stopper. So long, everybody, from Rogers Place. Oilers are going to have to rally. They're down 2-1 in the series.
The Rogers post-game show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Molson, whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. And Rogers, Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network.
To the net, backhander score!
This live play-by-play broadcast is intended for the private entertainment of our audience. Any rebroadcast without the expressed written consent of the Oilers Entertainment Group is strictly prohibited. All games, all season.